Welcome to the Pro Crastinators podcast. I'm the best guy ever, and thank you for joining on a very unfortunate episode because Ben Saint is here.
Boy, best guy ever. So you got to do something about that cough. You got to take care of your lungs. I'm vaping. I'm vaping into the microphone. I'm vaping into the microphone. That's what I'm doing.
Like best boy.
The Mage is here.
Hello, I'm in a good mood. I ate like 3 chocolate bars in a row.
You know that's according to Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for your mood. Remember, it kills the it staves off the Dementors.
Chocolate
yes.
bars?
It doesn't stave them off.
Well, it improves your mood.
I was saying
it
staves off the deleterious mental effects that proximity to Dementors have.
That's true. Hypocrite's here.
Hey, it's me. I'm here.
And Tom Oliver.
Hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video in a while. Just been too busy hanging out on the Pro Crastinators podcast, the best podcast for autists.
We're
everywhere.
the reason people are dying. Nobody said it, so I will say it every time.
Okay, thank you.
I'm really happy that you're taking charge on that.
Is this our new catchphrase, guys? Like,
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the other one? Oh, just being cool. And we're also just being cool.
Yeah.
We need a new theme song contest, but this time you have to the lyrics have to be, "Hey guys, sorry I haven't made a video in a while."
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I mean, it would be sick, right? It would be
Speaking
sick.
of things in that vein, I'm fucking sick. I feel sick. I am sick.
Oh, shit.
Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I do feel shitty in general. So sickness, I feel sick. Times you were sick. Discuss.
Tell us your
I
symptoms.
was quite recently
Let us
sick,
diagnose.
if you remember.
Me too.
I got a cold. I got a fucking cold.
You might
That's it.
remember, as of a couple weeks ago, I was coughing like on every episode.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
was
were.
very sick for maybe a week there. It sucks. It fucked with my sleep.
I have been blitzing myself. I got a huge fucking bag of clementines right here. I have been chowing the fuck down. I've got these vitamin C concentrated, cocaine packs that I've been pouring into my water and chugging by the gallon. And I do feel I am successfully staving off the march, into Poland of Hitler's troops, of the sickness that is progressing through my body. And I feel like Poland is actually going to win this one, baby. Our horse cavalry is going to turn those tanks around with sheer vitamin C force. I don't know if vitamin C actually makes a difference, but I'm banking on it, and it's all I got.
Yeah, it's like ammunition. You're supplying your troops with more ammunition.
No. It's like the Poles had those winged hussars or whatever they were fucking like the winged horse riders. We're just adding more wings.
The winged
more
knights.
wings equal more power to fight back the tanks.
The winged knights,
yeah.
like Sweet Robins in the Vale.
Fuck off, Preston Jacobs.
Yeah.
Your theories are shit, dude. And
No,
you
man,
way overextend.
Quaithe is fucking using the moon to bounce signals off of to spy on Daenerys.
That fucking boy, he finds one tiny justification, makes a 45-minute video about it. He's just as bad as your soy boys or any of your fucking theory crafter motherfuckers.
Okay, guys, I blinked for a second.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Is this like the Game of Thrones version of Incros right now? Is that what we're talking about?
I don't want to skip this because this is a huge ideological divide. Like I was saying on the other episode that we should talk about we shouldn't be afraid to delve into the real shit. This is the real shit. Preston Jacobs is an unsung genius because the thing is his theories sound
He thinks Sweet Robin is the most powerful character in Game of Thrones. He's an idiot. He thinks way more shit about things than he should.
Okay.
His theories are bunk.
You're fucking bunk, and here's why. The reason, if you listen to some of what Jacob says, it sounds totally nuts. But everything that he says is it's all justified by the fact that like similar things happen in other George R.R. Martin stories. Like every one of his, like almost every one of his theories is based in George R.R. Martin wrote another story, and basically this is what happened. So let's assume that like something similar is going on in Ice and Fire.
Dude, I watched a fucking video of his about how Quentin might. Okay, he didn't say he was definitely alive, but he said he was leaning hard on the fact that Quentin was alive. If you remember, people, Quentin was the Martell who went to try to steal the dragons from Dany and got face melted I mean, he was on fire. He was burned. He goes into this whole big fucking theory about how no. He was holding an oily whip at the time. When it's described that something was burning, it was the oil on the whip. He's only a little burned. He's totally fine. And he goes into all this fucking mind reading about, like, the characters. Like, there's one character who never expresses emotion. When he expressed emotion that Quentin was dead, that must indicate that he's lying to fool people. Not that just narratively, maybe he cares more about his fucking lord than, like, the random other fucks who die. Quentin, you're overreaching, my dude. You're overreaching,
Nate,
and that's why I hate theory crafters.
The thing is, Nate, yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds crazy, but he gives, like, a huge list of, like, reasons why. And, like, that example...
I was not impressed.
That example you just said, like, yeah, it's like, oh, why wouldn't someone show show emotion? Well, I mean, he's an Ironwood, which is, like, the second house under the Martells, and, like, in the books, like secondary houses are always the ones that are vying for power and try to take over their lords. The Ironwoods probably don't have any love for the Martells. You know, the whole mission was probably sent with them because they're, like, not interested in Martell rule and are just... There's all these reasons why...
That doesn't make sense.
There's all these reasons why the party doesn't actually care about Quentin. And, like, and then there's all these other reasons why they act weird, and, like, the things they say, like, the lies they tell after he dies don't make any sense. And da-da-da-da.
I admit I love Occam's razor, and I use it liberally all the time, and I just feel that this boy's videos are ripe for it. Super fucking ripe.
I
don't care about
Jacobs.
Shut up. All right.
Ooh.
Here's the real thing about that is that I have a cold.
Okay.
A few like podcasts ago I was talking about having the eternal cold. It has not stopped. I am still like constantly kind of under the weather at all times, but I feel like Mr.
It's that
Burns.
Sweeney Todd London atmosphere, bro. It's killing your body.
I mean,
that's called getting older. Like,
No.
as an old man, I can confirm,
Gives a young
and
sprout.
Ben can confirm with me that it happens. Eventually, like, being kind of sick is just normal once you get old enough.
I don't think that's true at all.
I'm happy to say that no, I honestly don't feel any different. I don't feel any different.
Well, then I guess I'm just broken and need a robot body immediately.
But it has benefits, because like I have no idea what is causing it or whether it's even a thing, but it's like I feel sick more so than what I was when I was a little boy or like a teenager. So I assume I actually have a cold, and like there's evidence to suggest that it is sort of like a Mr. Burns, like I have too much stuff and therefore I can't get sick. Because like I haven't had like a cold in, well, the whole time. I've never had like a sniffle.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Whatever that means.
I've never had a cold in the whole time. Like, I go out in Boston. It's so cold out here. And I don't sneeze. I get a little runny nose, but like I never feel like, snap fingers and now I'm bedridden. I haven't felt like that in years.
The only times I've gotten sick maybe twice in the last like several months, and that was almost the only time I've been sick in like recent memory, and both times were when I was out of the house like visiting Digis, and I think it was just like being out of the house in the cold for the journeys got me sick both times.
I wear shorts out in the snow a lot,
and maybe that
dumb.
combined with public transportation and exposure to germs and all that.
This is almost definitely spurned on by the recent trip to Boston and whatnot, where I was exposed to the cold quite a bit.
Yeah,
been doing a lot of snow moving and pushing around and stuff. I'm sure that's relevant to this. I'm so proud of myself for fighting it back. I feel like I'm over the hump, and it's only going to get better from here, baby. It's great. It's great. I'm debating if I should exercise or not. I don't know if it'll make me sicker or will help blast out the demons. One of those two.
I love that feeling of blasting out the demons in a sense.
Me too.
When you're really like dying and you're like, no. I'm just gonna tense all my muscles as hard as I can until it's gone. I'm just gonna like.
Is that all it takes? All this time?
Smoke out of my ears, like the demon. There it is. Like fuck you. Kick it into the sewers.
I'm just gonna immerse myself. I'm just gonna boil a cauldron and dunk myself in it.
Let's talk about times we were super sick though, because that's interesting. I'll tell. Stop me if I've told this story before, but there was a time when I was really young and I had a crazy high fever. Have I told this before?
I remember that. I remember the dad made me think you were gonna die.
Lol. I wasn't. I know I've said this before, but like I remember they measured my temperature and it was something like I think it was like 106.7.
Yeah.
And there's something about how like brain damage starts at like 107 or like something like that.
Well, now
so
we know.
Right on the edge. Or maybe this is why I am the way I am. But like I was so delusional and out of my fucking mind. I had these crazy dreams about Lord Ooze from the Power Rangers movies that still haunt me to this day. Ivan Ooze, that's right. With his ooze. Yeah, it just I was completely out of my mind, and I don't remember what was happening in the real world. I only remember what happened in the ooze world, the better world, where I want to be.
Do you think Ivan Ooze
it was the first visit to Slime City.
Yeah, I
was
traveled to
gonna
RFCK. I was the pioneer.
Yeah.
Is Ivan Ooze a rowdy or a killer?
He's definitely a rowdy. Well, you know,
look
he
at
actually
him.
strides the line.
He dresses like a killer.
You know, I guess you're right. I was thinking that ooziness made him rowdy, but now that I
Everyone's
think about
oozy.
it, yeah,
that just fits with the territory.
I guess he is a killer. Now that I think about it,
Yes, we got him. We got him, boys.
Ivan Ooze
Hey,
has been recruited.
A guy I know in real life messaged me on Discord the other day, being like, "I was enjoying your game until someone
Until I actually started playing
until someone killed me, and I was like, haha, was it a rowdy or a killer? And also, I hope you enlisted killers. And he was like, I did enlist killers, but also it was a killer that killed me. And I said, yes, we bullied you into joining. I'm giving the guy who did it a promotion. Nice job, Coonrat. Good kill.
Way to go, dude. Wasn't Coonrat a rowdy?
He switched a little while ago.
Oh, okay. Fucking traitors. I have no respect for traitors at all.
There's a lot of them these days.
I know. There's so many.
On
I've
both
never
sides.
switched.
No one is clean except if you're,
the
if you're
cleanest
clean,
of all.
good on you.
The cleanest of all are the Mud Puddle Knights in the Mud Puddle Discord. The Discord
That's
war is
fair.
still happening, except nobody cares at all.
Yeah,
No,
nobody cares.
It's a Cold War now.
It's a funny meme, I guess. But hey, guys, tell me more about when you were sick. I want to know when you were sick.
The worst times that I've been sick, I have huge tonsils naturally. I have like huge and asymmetrical tonsils, and sometimes the right kind of illness will swell your tonsils up, and that is awful for me, especially.
Does it choke you or something?
It doesn't. I mean, I can still breathe, but it just feels so bad to swallow or even just to exist. That is the thing. That is the thing that I fear most when I get sick, is that my tonsils will swell up. It's just a horrible, horrible experience. Hasn't happened in a little while, which I'm glad for.
There was this one time, where I thought I was gonna die because I had a cold, and it was just like an extreme situation where I had a cold for a while, sneezing and spluttering and like the throat cold where it's like, you know, where it's all stuffed up and clogged up, and you gotta have a drink. And we were out driving somewhere, and we were stopping, and we got out to look at some cows or whatever. I don't know. I don't really remember. But I had a fit of sneezing and coughing, and I couldn't breathe. My throat closed up with the stuff, and I was like, oh shit. I'm not in the safety of my home. I'm not I'm not very close to a nice drink of water. We're out on the road, out in the field, and I'm like, what happens? What will happen if I can't draw a breath right now? I'm gonna die right here. And that panic increased the floundering and the spluttering.
Right.
And eventually I managed to cough it up. But it was really, that was the closest I ever felt like I was going to die because of a cold.
I hate how fucking vulnerable. I've said this before, but I'm terrified of getting stuffed up and choking to death.
This is giving me deja vu because I think I've told that story and then you followed up with that exact thing.
I think you're right. Nonetheless, it still haunts me. We're so vulnerable to just lack of air. It's fucked up.
The human body is weak.
Yeah, we are weak.
Robot bodies now. Transhumanism now. Hashtag H+.
Something that can really easily freak myself out is thinking about how we're in an ocean of air. We're basically in a soup. It's like a gas soup, but like we're in like this chemical soup that keeps us alive. And if we were taken out of it, we would choke and die like a fish out of water.
Yes.
Yikes.
And it's weird to think that like what astronauts have to do is they have to preserve that like aura
They have to bring
around
soup
them.
with them.
Yeah,
They do. They have to bring the soup. They have to bring that atmosphere
they have
with
to
them
keep
in their little
themselves in a little
suit.
artificial bubble
Soup
of it.
life.
Did you hear about like the Chinese like astronaut people? They were trying to grow stuff on the moon. They had like a little cubicle, and they were like this little plant that they had. They had like, I don't think it was botflies. It was some sort of flies in there. They had like fly eggs and plants, and then what they wanted to happen was the plant would grow and then create carbon dioxide, and then the flies would create oxygen.
Yeah.
And then the flies would emerge because of the oxygen, and then an ecosystem would form. But it all died because on the other side of the moon, like the nighttime of the moon is like minus 730 degrees centigrade, which is like super duper freezing, and it's dead. And they fucked up, and I don't know why they couldn't see that coming.
Yeah, there's no way to even deal with that.
The more important question: who the fuck allowed the Chinese on the moon? Trump needs to get on that shit. That's not allowed.
I thought no one had
Our
been on the
flag
moon
is
in
up
like.
there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, because people think that the moon landing is faked. Some people think that.
I do.
And like, I thought we hadn't been to the moon since. Is that correct, or am I crazy?
I can imagine things have been to the moon.
I thought
it's just
only
like not
America
a big deal.
and Russia had have a space program.
I thought the
China has
conspiracy was that the initial moon landing is fake, but we have since been there for real.
Oh, I wasn't sure, so maybe I was crazy.
I don't know either.
I thought that it was possible we had never been to the moon if the moon landing was fake. But yeah.
No,
I thought
I
people
hear of
said
things
that there's
going
like
to the
like a
moon.
radiation belt in space that a human could never pass through. Like they die if they actually tried to go to the moon, so it's impossible. This is false, by the way. These are all false lies.
Right. Yeah. Or
Just
so
jump.
Still,
You'll
but they
find
may be
out.
false, but I still believe them.
We got any moon truthers in here? Raise your hand if you're a moon truther.
Raise his paw.
My
Praise
hand may or may
the
not
lo-
be raised.
Praise Luna, praise the moon.
Oh,
haha.
hell yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. So okay, who
Luna
else
should
was
have took
sick?
care of that flower on the moon, that bitch. She didn't
Yeah,
do
that
it.
fucking
Wait,
slag.
flower
the
on the
flower
moon?
that died. They were
The
I was
plant.
just-
The
I was just
plant.
talking
The
about
Chinese plant.
Oh.
Why didn't Luna take care of it? What an uncaring bitch. Disgusting.
Tell me more about times you were sick, Mage. I bet you were sick. You're a real sick puppy there, Mage. Tell me all about it.
I have been sick so many times in my life. It's but back when I
Was it ever really bad?
quite a few times my fever. Actually, quite recently, when I was sick recently, my fever had gone up to almost 39 Celsius. I'm not sure how much that's in Fahrenheit.
What's that in real numbers? Yeah, I was gonna. Okay, I'm gonna type it in.
102-ish, maybe a bit more.
Okay, it's pretty high.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But it only lasted for like a day, so thankfully I survived. I think I told you guys about the time, when I got like super really ill, when the gallbladder thing happened.
Yes, and you went to some kind of like camp.
It's a health camp, yeah.
They put you in like a concentration camp.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
No, it was a health camp, but oh man, the health camp was like
A health camp or a hell camp?
both.
You told me about this, and I don't know if we do health camps over here. Like I've never really heard of such a thing.
Unless
not
you were
familiar with the
Japanese
concept.
during
Was
World
this-
War II,
was-
we never did health camps.
It was like amazingly terrifying because like
Yeah?
it was held in a building that like survived like since World War II, and it was like really old. And it's like the bathroom was absolutely terrifying.
Oh,
it's
God.
like
Don't get me started about the showers.
but
I was gonna say
it was-
they knew you were a weeb, which is why they put you in this concentration camp. Any traces of Japanese culture had to be,
No, man.
segmented
The Japanese were the master race of the East, of the Orientals.
Yeah, but we did. Well, okay, only the U.S. I think did concentration.
Oh, we're talking
camps
about
for the
Japanese
internment.
I don't know
camps.
anything
Yeah.
about all that.
Okay, anyway, sorry, Mage. Go on.
yeah, it was just it was like very unpleasant to look at. I did not look forward to going to the
What was the benefit of even going to like a health camp? Is that where like doctors are or something?
Yeah, there were quite a few doctors they had me monitored, watched what I had to eat because I couldn't eat a lot of things because of the whole gallbladder thing. There was, I don't remember the details and I couldn't really describe it, but there were like a few treatment stuff and there were massages, and now you think massages are nice. Those massages gave me,
I hate massages, but that's just me.
Like bruises. It was terrible.
Geez.
And it was even worse because right before the trip towards the health camp, I had like a really nasty fall and like I hit my ribs on a very hard surface. And I burnt, it wasn't exactly burned, but like when I tripped, it was like on what do you call it?
Oh, like friction burn?
Yeah, friction burn. Yeah, it was friction burn
Christ.
on my foot, and some skin just was missing. So,
Dude, more like
is the
death
worst.
camp.
yeah, it was just before the trip as well. So like it was.
Forget my gallbladder. Fix this.
Was that a thing in Japanese internment camps that they'd call it massages, but actually just the guy would go in and then two guys would hold them by the arms and a third guy would just work them over with brass knuckles, just like punch him in the torso a bunch of times. Was that what was going on?
God,
Sounds
I hope
about
so.
right.
But yeah, so the time I was actually sick before the camp, it was terrible because like when I read about like how people have experience with the whole pains of the gallbladder, some people like don't even have pains, and some people have like mild pains, and some people have pains that lasted up to 4 hours. Mine. At the worst, lasted 16 hours. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I lost a lot of weight, and I was just constantly suffering for a month.
Oh man, I want to lose weight. Maybe I should.
What
fuck
a
my
story,
gallbladder
mate.
It's just at some points like I went to the ER like at least 2 times I think, and I just there were points I just had to I was just crying with frustration because I couldn't do anything.
Well,
Yeah,
was
it
this
sucks.
in the UK or Lithuania?
The pains started in the UK, and I went to the camp as soon as I got to Lithuania because the camp was in Latvia. So, yeah. It lasted. quite a
Well,
bit.
shit, bruh. I mean, I got a mean tweet once, so I think I know a little something about pain. That lasts all damn day. Emotional pain is the
Hey.
real exquisite.
Hey,
harm.
you know. Speaking of mean tweets, I did a little drawing last night. I drew Mega Clefable, aka Clefangel.
That was nice.
And it's only got 57 likes, and I don't think that's enough.
Oh, that's the suffering. That
Yeah,
that
that's
is
what
good.
everyone
Is there a
fucking
worse
sucks.
pain?
Listen, no, it's really clever, guys, because like I based its shape on Mega Gengar, because like Gengar is Clefable's shadow. Why don't people
Oh.
appreciate me?
I didn't know that. You should really spell that out so it's obvious for
you
brains
gotta
such as
really
myself.
drill it home for
Yeah,
the stupid
I
people
said it
out
in
there.
a reply to someone else's, but now the vast people who don't
Yeah,
engage with
but-
the tweet will never know.
Ben,
True.
it's because it wasn't pornography. You gotta have to make it pornography to
that's
get
true.
people to look at it.
I use the fairy type background from Pokemon Go. You know,
Wow.
I did everything for these people, and they stabbed me in the back.
I googled USSR bathrooms, and I found a picture that's like, and this
Well.
bathroom is a lot nicer than the one I was stuck with. I'm just gonna show
That
it.
sucks, bruh.
Where's the this
Uh-oh.
this looks like the bathroom that I think I've
Dude, that's
talked when
Resident Evil.
When I was living in Poland, the company I was working for set me up with a real nice hotel, like a real nice apartment. And then when I got fired, basically, I had to downgrade to moving downstairs and like sharing a set of rooms with some like 90-year-old woman, and I had like a real shit bathroom that I had to like heat the water like manually. It kind of looked like this, but
Yeah.
darker, much darker.
Yeah,
dark,
yeah, same.
dark, yet darker, you might say.
The last apartment I lived in was gross and disgusting, but the bathroom specifically, it was okay, it was better than this. It was definitely better than this, but there were roaches, and
Spook.
I just kind of moving out here. Roaches have just become a part of life. This might freak people out a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe every 2 days, every 3 days, a tiny little baby roach. I'll just be at my desk working. I will see one walk across my desk, just
Ooh.
right in front, which means 100% there's way more somewhere else, and I don't know where. That's disturbing to me.
One of the guys I live with, he saw a mouse a mouse just ran across his desk.
Christ!
This was a while ago, and we have killed lots of mice.
Excellent.
Since it is a fucking slaughterhouse. You don't want to talk about a concept. It's like it's like mouse Auschwitz in here.
No, please don't talk. Poor mice.
But
and you're gonna make that mouse skull throne, right? I mean, that's in the cards.
And we haven't really seen him much. But last night I saw one running around in the living room, and I was I was incensed. We have a bunch of traps still out. They haven't caught any in a while because their population has declined. We've been on a genocide run. And but this was, and I saw it, and I was like, damn, I knew they wouldn't be gone that easy. Although,
dude, Sans is going to be so mad at you.
Although we've reduced the population enough that I no longer hear them scrabbling around in the ceiling above my room every single night, which was going on for a while.
Ew. Well, that's good.
And the thing about that, see, I think it was mice, but something about the acoustics amplified the sound. It sounded like a full fucking raccoon was running around, like feet above my head, which was very, very upsetting.
God, talk about sickness. We live in a sick world where you have to still deal with the fact that things besides humans live in this fucking planet. They're gross. I want them gone. Get out of here.
We should gross.
We should really segregate.
We need to.
My least favorite, surprisingly, is big old spiders. Yeah. When I see a big old spider, because they're so slow, they're so, keep to themselves. At the moment there's been a big old spider just in the bathroom, and occasionally, I just walk in there and, he's in that corner now. He's just hanging out in the top corner. But, he doesn't do anything. At the moment, he's, squished his arms in, so he's just trying to get comfortable, trying to get warm in the crevice, in between the wall and the ceiling. Mm-hmm. He just looks kind of funny. So I'm like, you know what? You can stay. I don't really give a shit.
Actually, though, since I have a cat, I don't want him to get numbed. So what I do is, I have this. I have specifically set aside a little plastic container that has the Q-tips for ears stuff. So I have an empty one. So whenever I see a spider, I place one on top of the spider, then I slip a piece of paper or something like that under it so I can pick up the spider, and then I release it into the wild through the window or the door or whatever.
Yeah. I don't like spiders. Everyone tells me but Ben, what do you mean? They eat the other insects. I think I've said this before. They eat the other insects, but they themselves are the worst and most disgusting of them all. So.
Nah. The things I hate most are the things that are small and fast. A small and fast spider is gross because you blink and it could be anywhere, and then it could go up your butt in the middle of the night.
When a spider jumps, I'm spooked.
That's pretty freaky. Yeah.
The average American eats hundreds of thousands of spiders every year in their sleep.
That's an exaggeration.
They just cry. There's a huge as soon as you fall asleep, they march in a line. Just a huge army of them. Just cram
one
themselves
giant spider shows up, pulls open your mouth and just shoves handfuls of spiders.
And just gives birth into your mouth, and their entire clutch.
No,
dude, it's like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Nate, why do you think you're sick right now?
Mouth.
What do you think you're fighting with vitamin C?
I'm full of spiders! They're fighting their way out! Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucked up, bro.
Hey, but you know what? You know what, though? Spiders, fucking keto.
Yeah.
Joke's on them, dude.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I have my friend Chelsea sent me a while ago a bag of cricket flour, which is made of crickets.
Right.
This is a thing now. I don't know if it's a fad thing or if it's something that is. I don't know if it's new or if it's something that's come back or just kind of vogue for whatever. But eating with spiders, or eating with bugs, bug ingredients.
I saw the worst thing yesterday of my life, and
I want to try. I really want to try cooking with it, but I don't know what the fuck to make out. I don't know what cricket flour tastes like.
Google it. I'm sure you can find a recipe.
Make cricket bread.
I could. I haven't really
just sub it in for whatever regular flours. But dude, okay,
I don't know. Maybe
I was at the gym on Friday, about to do a Q&A, and I totally
dog.
Wait, what?
Wait, Nate, do you know about this?
No,
you don't know about the meme.
Did we talk about this on the PCP?
I don't think we have.
Please explain.
You want to explain, Tom?
Yeah, okay. So there's this weird meme that Kaze started of there was this one time
Doing a Q&A.
I sometimes on Friday I'll just like, hey, I'm bored, ask me questions on Instagram. Viewer engagement, great stuff. 10 out of 10 gets me in that algorithm. I do the research. I know how it works. But I guess one time I said
SEO.
Yeah, exactly.
SEO.
Yeah.
Actually, there's not much SEO on Instagram. There's not a lot of search. Well, I guess there's kind of whatever.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Point is, I came back from the gym once. Said, "Oh, I just got back from the gym. I'm bored. Ask me questions." And then like 2 weeks later, Ben and Kaze and Munchie are all laughing at me saying, "I do Q&A at the gym all the time." I'm like, this happened once.
No.
But now I'm just leaning into it because it's fucking hilarious.
Cassie just she brought up, she was like, hey, do you guys know about Tom on Instagram? And I'm like, no. And she's like, yeah, he's always just like, hey guys, just got back from the gym, time for a little Q&A.
Dude, he goes to the gym.
The way
he
she
sits
said
down on
it
a
was
bench.
so fucking funny.
And I'm like, wait, really? And she's like, yeah, I'll prove it. Let me look and find his latest Instagram. And it's him saying like, hey guys, just got back from the gym, let's do a Q&A. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's proof. He does this every day, to just get back to the gym.
Tom puts on his gym clothes. He goes to the bench rack. He lies down under the bench bar, and he fires up Instagram. And is like, guys, it's time to work out my brain. Send me those questions right now.
He's like in the leg press machine. He's just doing a little Q, like between each rep. He's
oh, dude, Tom goes. He stands in the squat rack to do his Q&As. He's ready to go. While people line up around the block to use that fucking epic, legendary machine. But Tom's gonna need that to do his fucking Q&A.
Yeah. I'm working out the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Okay. Excellent. So you're at the gym doing a Q&A.
Anyways, Ben, I was at the gym doing a Q&A, and all of a sudden, I stop and freeze because there's a TV on, and the TV's advertising the keto diet as like a cool thing you should do.
Oh fuck.
Whoa! Who makes money off an ad like that?
There's just some company
Mr.
was selling keto powder. They're like, you got to get on.
Was it bulletproof? Was it bulletproof?
No, it was like some like. They just said keto in the name. They're just like, you got to get on the keto diet. That's how you lose weight.
Promoting
and all
it,
these fucking single moms
weight
talking
loss.
about how they're losing weight and shit. I'm like, oh god.
Jillian Michaels is against the keto diet.
It's going mainstream. This is
There's
disgusting.
been a big spat over that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was
how
trending
wrong
on
she
Twitter a
is.
little while ago, and I didn't read it.
Yeah,
that's
because there was like a big tussle. I think I would talk about this last time. Between what's her face and Al Roker. They were in a little bit of a debate about keto.
Oh, Al Roker. Oh shit.
Al Roker, he was one of the guys who was pushing it on like the Daily Show, or whatever the fuck it is, the morning show, something. He was like a big pro keto guy, but whatever. Anyway,
it's mainstream and it's not cool anymore. Is what I'm saying.
What
We got to dig further. We got to dig deeper. Got to find something even sicker now.
What was the end of that gym Q&A story? Oh, the keto diet.
Just the
diet
keto.
on
Yeah,
TV.
It's on TV. It's mainstream now. It's terrifying.
Once keto becomes
it's moved
too...
off the internet.
What comes next after keto?
I mean, keto's just like the latest iteration. And, there was the Atkins diet, which is basically the same.
Yeah.
You're right.
Look, the next thing is just once we start seeing
version.
Huel ads on TV, that's when we know all is lost because there's nowhere to go from there.
Yeah.
Where do you go from post food? There's no food. I guess kill yourself. It's over.
I want to go straight to Blade Runner world of I suppose Matrix world. Like every shop only sells nutrition slop. I only want the option to eat perfectly balanced nutrition slop. I want no other options. I want capitalism to solve my weakness for me by knowing better than what I know for
Capitalism's
myself.
not going to solve your weakness. It's going to exploit your weakness.
You want the invisible hand of the free market to drive a forced consensus that becomes truth. Yeah,
exactly.
I get
That's
it.
exactly how it works.
Well, it's how I want it to work.
If you buy, all new...
It's how capitalism would work ideally.
All new nutrition slop, now with trough.
I can't.
A free get a like turn in enough slop box tops or slop tops as we call them. I get a free trough in the mail.
I could see Nate setting up his shop now. Brand spanking new food.
Or okay, let's just let's take it to the logical stream. You sit down at like a bar. What you do is you just stick an IV into an injection port.
Nate, you got to start a new health brand called the Best Food Ever.
That's a good idea. But okay, like in the Matrix, they had those port like in the back of their brain or whatever, just everyone on their arm or their shoulder or whatever just has a little like hole. You sit down at like a fucking charging station. You just plug in the thing. It just gives you the nutritions you need. You don't even have to use your worthless gob of a mouth, which is only for passing the word of God and nothing else.
What I want the Metal Gear Rising future where you have a cyborg body. In order to replenish your life essence, you just slice somebody in half, rip their spine out, and absorb their electrolytes, and then you're immediately back at 100%.
Does he like drink that, or does he just kind of absorb it?
I'm assuming it just absorbs it. He just kind of crushes their spine.
Their electrolytes?
it's the guy Doctor, the character who's like of German doctor, spelled Doktor, says you absorb electrolytes to regain your energy.
So he could just as easily just down a Gatorade, but he chooses...
Those spines just filled with Gatorade.
Who has time to get Gatorade when you're slicing geckos in half? You gotta do what's out on the field, bro.
I gotta play that fucking game. It's
so good.
Yeah, Nate, one day I'll get to it.
Dude, that's where MAGA came from, Nate. You know that, right?
Is that true?
Armstrong,
I know
in the end of the game,
says
he says straight up he's going to make America great again.
Oh, hell yeah,
it's
dude.
the best fucking shit ever. This was like
now
3
I gotta
years before Trump.
The Matthew Matosis video, like, I'm not a Metal Gear Solid guy. I've only played the first one, so, I didn't play Rising, but, like, the Matthew Matosis video, when he's talking about Armstrong, I was like, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Like, by the end of the game, I'm just like, I just want to die. I want Armstrong to win. He's so justified.
Is based.
Yeah, he kind of is, in the way that, he's so fucking cartoonishly terrible that you're like, I love him so
Armstrong,
much.
okay, so he's willing to, like, sacrifice innocent lives for the sake of, like, helping America be the best. Pretty standard American politics, I guess. I suppose it makes sense.
How did
like,
Kojima
this is what we do.
get America that much?
That's what being a Westaboo is all about.
He's so fucking
it's just like we get Japan so much. It's the same thing.
I love Japan, period.
Yeah. Nate, serious idea. You're a fitness guy. If you wrote like Tom, your friend Jack's Blade, he wrote like the book. He wrote a book, right, about diet and stuff.
He did.
Made $1 million.
He made $100,000 in 2 weeks.
If you wrote like a diet book and you just called it like the best diet ever or whatever, or best workout ever, you made like a health guide or something. I bet you would make.
If Scooby ever found out,
money.
Okay, you know what I do though? What Scooby does, my fitness hero, is he'll make a video called like the bread diet, or like he made the W diet was his thing, and then and it's like you'll get instant results in like 1 week. That is a joke. What it actually is like a technique to like get you to be accountable to like the calories you consume, because whatever the W diet is, you literally eat anything, change nothing, you just count the calories, which will just awaken you to how much you're fucking up with your diet. That's the whole point. And if I could also write a book that appears to be tricking people into thinking that it's just an easy solution, and then actually red pills them on how hard and how they need to take responsibility for this shit, that I could live with. So maybe that's the way to go.
That's a pretty Nate maneuver.
I really like the idea
that
since you're a YouTuber and you have
Nate, just fucking lie to them. Just fucking tell them what they want to hear.
Right.
That's where the money's at.
That's fair.
It would be like at the end of the book you'll be like, all right, guys, thanks for reading my book. Be sure to subscribe.
Hey, guys, sorry I haven't written a book in a while.
That's something that's the first
to ring
page
that
of the book.
notification bell so you can see when my next book is published.
Hell yeah.
Start your book out. Hey, guys, sorry I haven't written a book in a while. I've been pretty sick, and I got a new microphone. So I got a new keyboard, so sorry if the font is weird.
I got a new typewriter.
Damn, that's good. The thing is, though, I need to actually get in actually impressive shape before I write anything along those lines. Maybe this year.
Yeah, you need to be at least 20 feet tall.
You need to be fucking ripped for the photo on the front of the book.
That's unironically true. Unironically true. I think so. Who's going to want to listen to some fat fuck who just like, maybe he went to school for nutrition.
There's two ways. You got to be really jacked and like on the cover, or you can be like a sort of old guy, like a 40s,
healthy family man kind of thing.
You can be like a family, if you're a doctor. If you're a doctor, you can just look like a pretty good shape family man.
Yeah, I buy that. But that's what Scooby always says. Like, the reason that he's shirtless is like, these are the goods, folks. Take a look. Yeah. This is what you get.
The proof is in the pudding, he says, jiggling his pecs, pudding-like.
Gross. Dude, you know who's pudding-like? My dog. when he sits down. Okay, I'm just saying, Lord Sesshomaru looks like a streamlined alpha male, athlete most of the time when he's up and he's squeaking on his frog Pepe.
I didn't realize.
But when he sits down and his skin becomes loose, he looks like a lasagna, and it's dope. And he looks like a straight lasagna.
I didn't realize he's like part corgi, right? So he's pretty squat.
Sessho is half corgi and half beagle, is what they tell us. I don't know if I believe that, but that's what they say when we got him. He's pretty based. He shows up in the new Wiagwa. Go check it out, everybody.
Yeah, I saw you cradling him.
Oh yes, my Puchiana.
He's a funny guy.
Dude, somebody commented, he is a funny guy. he's a good lad. I was like, I caught a new weird Alolan Puchiana or a weird fucking Rattata or whatever. But someone said, no, Nate, you're wrong. What he is I think it's a Rock'n'Ruff, like that rock Pokemon from Alola.
Yeah.
Rock'n'Ruff.
Yeah, Rockruff
you know
and
what?
Rockruff and Lycanroc.
Rockruff. He is most like a Rockruff. That guy, you're right. You win.
Why is there no
Okay.
corgi Pokemon?
I don't know.
We don't
What's
have that many dogs.
What was that Crack? Crack was that big fluffy guy
Oh,
who's a
yeah.
Scotty or something.
Oh God. What's his fucking?
can't
it's
remember.
it was a
I don't
it
remember.
was like
Scootaloo.
it was like Mayan. It was like man. I had my Spanish teacher in high school. Remember Mr. Sabella?
Of course, yeah.
Mr. Sabella, he taught us how to pronounce like Mayan or Incan language, and like I remember
cool.
one word in the whatever fucking language it was like like that was a word.
Yeah? What do
Yeah.
you mean?
I don't whatever like I don't know.
That's
But,
important.
Like, it had like weird glottal stops and like all these weird things about it were important to the meaning that like in English is not even.
Damn, that's cool.
That's how I remember it. I think I said it a lot. I remember I said it a lot, so I hope I
I want to
getting that
learn
right.
a language like that, or something like Chinese, where like inflection itself like makes a big difference in like what you're actually saying. It just sounds really cool.
I took
want
a
to
Chinese
awaken my
elective
brain
in
to that.
college. It was very weird to speak it.
Do you say you took Chinese?
Yeah, in college.
Oh, that's cool. So you know a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was weird, like having to because you have to know the different tones, and like
Yeah.
they have like a tongue twister where like it's just the same word like 5 times, but the tone changes.
That's a good exercise.
Makes a
Do you remember how it
complete
goes?
sentence. No, I do not remember.
Fuck.
I remember nothing from Chinese.
There's a tongue twister in Lithuania that sounds like all the words are very similar.
Dude, hit us with it.
Get it.
What's it mean?
Okay, so there's a repeat of the word good. Gere. So it's like good men drink good kvass in a good forest. I think that's.
Wait,
Yeah.
drink good what?
Kvass. It's a type of drink. It's non-alcoholic. Sort of. It's made out of bread. I think.
Whoa.
Whoa,
Cool.
That's not keto.
Not at all.
Wait,
Out of
say
dark bread.
say it again.
Gere.
I love it.
I love it.
I do. It sounds like a One Piece villain laugh, like a,
It
a
does.
special.
It fucking does.
what do
Is Lithuanian, does it have any of that inflection stuff that like Chinese does, or is it just like that the words are onomatopoeias or whatever, or not onomatopoeia, but synonyms or whatever the fucking word where they sound the same,
I mean,
but they
some
aren't the
words
same.
do, but in this case, it's just the words are very similar.
Yeah, okay.
In English, we got buffalo, which is a sentence.
Is it?
Yeah, you know
it's
No.
buffalo from buffalo, buffalo the verb, buffalo from buffalo or something.
What the hell does buffalo the verb mean?
I don't know. That's the one that
It
trips
means
me up.
it's like archaic, but it means to like bother or bully someone. I think like fuck with someone.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Or no, irritate. It means to irritate someone is to buffalo them.
Ladies
So,
and
yeah.
gentlemen out there, learn a second language because it's fucking dope and you
So-
won't regret it. It's
So
super fun.
First buffalo, adjective. Second buffalo, noun. Third buffalo, verb. Fourth buffalo, adjective. Fifth buffalo, verb. I think there's a longer sentence like that, but I
I
don't
think
know.
there's
What
6 in a row.
How weird is it? I mean, when I had a good English teacher in like 8th grade, Mr. Clark, I think, and he like taught me everything I know about like adjectives, nouns, fucking adverbs, gerunds, fucking infinitives or whatever. I learned literally everything I know about grammar from that man, and he was based as fuck. But Beyond that, I learned even more about English by learning Japanese and like having to stop and actually examine the language
Japanese.
I was using.
I think I'm learning Japanese every time.
Yeah.
Every time someone says learning Japanese, I do that. So just get ready.
Well, let's make this the last time, shall we, Ben? Learning another fucking language is such a useful thing. It's just so funny to me how I could have gone my whole life if I just hadn't had that one class with Mr. Clark and I hadn't, started to learn Japanese. I would have never even examined the language that I'm using. Like right now, I am not stopping to examine like the verbs and the nouns and the adjectives and the sentences I'm using. They just roll off my brain.
Yeah, it's just a way of like translating.
It's pretty
your
cool.
thoughts.
How are humans so good at that? Isn't that weird?
It's pretty fucking weird. It's pretty fucking unique. It's pretty unique in the animal kingdom.
Oh, that reminds me of something. Like, I was thinking a while ago about, like, drawing and how, like, everyone can draw, but, like, the longer it takes for you to start drawing, the harder it is.
Yeah.
Because when you're a little baby, you pick things up incredibly quickly. And language is, like, a prime example. Like, if you grow up around people speaking a language, you won't even need a class, you'll just get it. You'll understand it so inherently that it'll be hard to, like, forget it, ever.
Mm-hmm.
And then
seems to be so.
Shit, it's cool, but it's also annoying because, like, if I wanted to learn a language, I should have been doing it since I was 10, or any skill.
I've heard that like kids raised in like bilingual homes that grow up bilingual like are just smarter. They just like do better.
Yeah.
On
It's just
tests
better,
and
man.
stuff.
It's just better. I think
the interesting
I
thing
started
about
learning English since I was 4, so I'm not smart.
We've got Mage here, the counterexample
Right,
to this
right.
whole idea.
Owned.
Mig
Tao.
Mage Tao.
the funny thing about
No, my weakness.
Tom, were you saying something?
I was just gonna say because you were talking about the tones and stuff and like the different like enunciations on words. The interesting thing I learned in the Chinese class was that the teacher was saying like, oh yeah, the interesting about Chinese music is that in order to like stay on pitch, you have to like say the word with a tone that's actually a different word, and you just have to know through like context clues of what they're actually trying to say.
That makes sense.
Did you
That's
guys
tough,
hear?
though.
Did you guys?
Oh wait,
hear,
by the way, I just want to say, Tom learned Chinese, communist, confirmed. There you go. Makes sense. All right.
Did you guys hear Econ speak any Chinese when he was
No,
here?
I don't think I ever have. At least not much.
He maybe it was just Digi was around, but no. Sometimes like we went out to. It's really funny. We were when he was first got here. We were walking around in like Chinatown, because like I think me and Munchie were just taking him, just going. Oh, and Zen. It was me, Munchie, Zen, and Econ, and we walked around and we went to Chinatown and we went to that bubble tea place, Tito.
Bubble tea.
And yeah,
it's good shit.
I don't. They wouldn't do it with no sugar. But no keto. He tried to order in Chinese, and he was very disappointed when the people speaking there didn't speak Chinese. But then we went to a restaurant. We went to this restaurant. Nate, we went to this restaurant later. Remember that place with the round table, the spinny round table?
Yeah, it was Chinese as fuck. I remember.
It was Chinese as fuck, and we went there with him before, and the waitstaff there speak terrible English, and it's very irritating because they don't know phrases that they really should know, like split the check. They should know what split the check means. They should learn that in fucking English if they're gonna fucking live in America. So he
build the wall, build the wall.
But he talked to them in Chinese, and they talked back to him, and
that's cool.
Man. God, and he ordered that the stinky tofu.
The stinky tofu
was the most horrible. Was the most horrible smell and taste because it tasted exactly like it smelled. Oh, he loved it.
I bet Econ was just lording that club. He was just absolutely dominating the social space.
He absolutely was. But it's funny because like his voice, like the way that he speaks, like he doesn't have an accent, but he has a way of speaking that is unusual. But when he speaks in Chinese, it makes perfect sense. It's like
I mean, is his first language Chinese? I mean, I don't know.
It
I
is.
don't know.
Yeah, he grew up in China
really?
for some. I don't know how
for
long.
some reason. Maybe he was born there. I don't know.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have made the same choice.
I think his first language is Chinese, but he moved to America when he was pretty young.
I mean, his English is like perfect, so
Yeah.
Well, that's
anyway,
cool.
that's
cultures are cool, languages are cool. Seriously, people, you won't even know. Learn a fucking other language. It's so beneficial.
I
feel so bad I have not kept up on my Japanese. I'll get back to it.
I think he said that like he was talking to the waitress in Chinese, and then you know he's saying all his weird moon speak and whatever, and then he gets done and he's like, yeah, she was asking me if it was stinky enough.
Lol.
And it was. I mean, she didn't need to ask, in my opinion.
I really should, like, I've always felt like I want to learn Arabic. And I've never really even thought of, like, I've never really even, like, taken the first steps into figuring out where I could learn something like that. Mm-hmm. But I feel like, you know, those Arabs over there, if you go to Arabia, if you go to the Middle East, they don't really like Western white people. But if you speak their language, they'll be like, I guess he's okay. I guess we won't like detain him for no reason.
I hope for your sake it works that way.
They love Westerners in like what's that one that's like the Dubai, like Dubai.
Oh yeah, that's India. That's a little different.
It's not India. Dubai is fucking. It's like next to Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like like a little offshoot.
What am I thinking of?
Princedom or whatever.
What am I thinking of? Hang on.
I don't know. You're thinking of India, I think.
Well, there's
at least I gotta double check this.
Like Budai, the Buddha.
No, okay, yeah, I'm right. Dubai is in fact next to Saudi Arabia. Okay,
Are you
thinking
whatever. I'm thinking of New Delhi or something.
Yeah,
or Bangladesh.
Okay.
No, Bangladesh isn't even in India.
The interesting thing about learning another language, at least in my experience, and Nate, you could like totally fucking shoot me down on this since you've studied Japanese, is that
priming my rifle
I think I've
and
studied
prepping
Japanese.
my bullets.
I think I've studied Japanese. Okay, last one.
Disgusting.
I'm so sorry.
You better be. No, like. Because in high school I took a little bit of Spanish and I took a lot of German. I didn't learn anything. It was very difficult for my brain to understand. But because I was learning Chinese and it was totally like different, like it was just like characters and not like, you know, letters and stuff. And it was just like so different from the language I was used to. Instead of like looking at something like Spanish or German and approaching it thinking of like, like my brain was trying to like look at those words as I would in English and like pronouncing them in English. With Chinese, it was so separate. I just like, this is something totally new. And I took to it much quicker than those other languages.
Yes, I'm totally with you. I felt the same way. Having to start from the absolute basic thing of even learning what the fucking characters say and like just starting from that, forming the simplest possible things up that way, totally made me step into it from a new perspective. Yeah, it was great.
I studied a little bit of Japanese when I was younger, and you know, I just learned the very basics. But it was really interesting just how like the sentences they're just structured like different. Like they just like the way that like the word no is used. For example,
you mean like the possessive no?
Yeah, the possessive no. And how like the order is reversed.
How do you describe the possessive no?
You don't say Ben's cock, for example. You say kaku no Ben.
That's actually not true. You say if you want to say like my cock, it'd be like watashi no cock.
That's what I said. You fuck.
You put Ben second. You said cock no Ben.
Wait, really?
I think so. Okay, well, the point is you put the pronoun or the noun or pronoun first, which, okay, maybe Ben meant to do that, whatever.
Wait. No, it's reversed.
Nah,
right?
Dog. You say watashi no, like Ken, would be like my fist or whatever.
Wait, no, it wasn't the order. It was like that, like... Oh, God, well, okay, but the possessive doesn't mean... okay, obviously, this was a long time ago and I've forgotten shit. But it doesn't mean... It's not the same as, like, the possessive... It's like, can't you use the possessive to mean like other things than like ownership or something? Like you can just use it to like say other things.
Maybe probably
it has like a broader application.
Nothing comes to mind, but
no, you know what? I'm thinking of
crazy.
Adjectives, right? Don't you say like you put the adjective second, right?
You do put the instead of say like big truck, you'd put like truck and something like that.
That's a bit similar to German. They always put the verb second.
That is true.
And then if there's another verb, like a secondary verb, they sort of put it last. Something like that. It's been a while.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough to keep.
Languages are weird. We all need to learn Esperanto so we can all talk to each other.
I wouldn't mind that. I suppose I wouldn't mind that. Although, you know, when it comes to language, that's when I start to think like, wow, cultures are cool because I like looking at different languages and it makes you think differently too, depending on what language you're using. Like the fact that Japanese has different tenses for politeness. Like that, when I learned that, I was like, "What the fuck is that about?" That's just like that's so informative of the culture itself.
No, for sure,
it's cool.
I don't think something like Esperanto should like replace languages as we have now. But I think
it'd be nice
should
if just everyone knew Esperanto
right.
in addition to like
exactly. So like you had a way of talking to other people, and it'd be a great way of like opening up the world to more like experiences. Like if you can just go somewhere being confident that someone speaks like the same tongue you do, and then like you can slowly
I just learned this recently.
Learn more shit.
This is relatively recent, but like at the UN, because like it's people from like everywhere in the fucking world. The reason that all the representatives have those little earpieces is because they've got translators like working on their staff who understand whoever happens to be speaking. Maybe it's a fucking Arab guy, and you've got like a French dude. They like on their staff they have like a guy who speaks French and Arab translating live into their ear so that everyone can communicate. And it's like, I mean, that's really cumbersome, but like that's also cool that that's all happening.
That guy's job's gonna get replaced with Google Assistant at some point. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I give him 5 years. He better be looking for a new job.
my favorite thing about different languages and cultures is that I can Google some cool shit, and then I can get information as to like how to make to come up with my own world building. Like, I can base things off of stuff that happened in other countries that I'm not aware of at the moment. Because, like, I'm thinking of a name of a place, and I'm thinking what sort of place it's like. And I just research places that exist, and civilizations and cultures, and it's just like, you get really good ideas, because, like, humans, they're very different depending on where they, like, evolved and grew up all over the world. I only know what it's like to be me. So it's like, if I want to write stories about all sorts of weird, wacky, fantastical places, I need to know a lot about what humans have done, and it's cool.
Yeah. My favorite thing about there being different cultures is that I'm in the best one, baby, the U.S. of A.
Build that wall.
Say,
Build
can
that
you
wall.
see?
By the dawn. Oh, I missed
It feels good
Okay.
to be number one.
I'm launching the nukes right now.
No. Does England have nukes? I don't think they have nukes.
We have nukes.
They've
They're just
got
like really.
I think you're bluffing.
Hang on,
we have a nuclear program. That's all I know. It was brought up in the recent not that recent. It's like, what do we do with the nukes, huh? What do we do with that nuclear program?
Who doesn't have a nuclear program?
Yeah, I got a nuclear program in my backyard right now. It's sick.
Yeah. I got a fission reaction for you. Hey, remember in Watchmen when Richard Nixon is like, let's see them try to think their way out of fission? That's a stupid line and I hate it. That's all.
Well, isn't that supposed to be like Nixon is dumb and that's why he said it?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Shit.
It's embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for him when he says that.
Hippo said that, like, oh, isn't Nixon supposed to be stupid? And then my brain immediately got trapped in, like, oh, God, if Watchmen was made today, it would be some weird Trump parody, and it would be so awful, and I would hate it.
It fucking would be true. Wait, well, hang on. Watchmen was set in the past when it was made, right? Or was it set in...
But I'm saying
it would probably be like W. It'd be like W being stupid.
Yeah,
I don't want to relate to these things.
In a few decades, there will be something where Trump is like, the bad guy, and it's like,
isn't there like
he's dumb.
I'm looking forward to the future where
guys,
we make jokes about how dumb we were back when we elected Trump, and what a crazy time in America's history.
Guys, isn't like the newest Purge kind of like poking fun at Trump, sort of?
Is it? Probably.
I think the promotional image was like the MAGA hat
Trump.
or something like
he embarrasses me every day. Our country embarrasses you guys know what I'm doing? I'm doing the Quentin Reviews thing? All right, cool.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't give a shit. Does Trump really embarrass America that much? Maybe I just don't pay attention. I think he sounds like an idiot sometimes, but I don't know.
One thing I always feel is that I hate the majority. So, like, when the majority hates Trump, I'm like, well, maybe he's not so bad. Maybe he's actually okay. And then everybody in the normal media that I've known all my life to be annoying and stupid is this time also being annoying and stupid. and Trump is just kind of an idiot sometimes.
I mean, it seems super clear to me that it's just, so they're trying to apply the standard rule set of like if Obama said the things that Trump said, like, yes, people would freak out and they'd be upset. But Trump, like, he's literally just doesn't give a fuck. He just is like, I'm just gonna fucking meme on these people, literally. And so it's just kind of weird to apply like the same standard because he's not trying to do it. And no matter, I just feel like people get that, like, no matter how much they try to say, like, if Obama did this, we'd all be pissed. Trump just is a different guy, and he just doesn't give a fuck, and I kind of just respect that, because I also don't give a fuck.
I mean, I respect not giving a fuck.
Yeah, and that's it. That's all
definitely.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
but I mean,
yeah.
I guess because he's like president, we should have somebody who does give a fuck. I guess that makes sense.
Actually, I take back
the thing
what I
is,
said.
the thing, like, the current thing that's happening where the government is shut down because Trump is not getting his way.
Well, it's not all on him, though. It's not all on him. The other guys,
No. I like it because it's the first time I've seen a politician, like, push so hard for their own policy that they were elected for.
Yeah.
But
and
that's fucking horrible, though. But that's
I know it's horrible, but it's...
Well,
yeah, but like I just think that I would prefer politicians to be crazy and very like
oh my God,
I would prefer them to be like more true to their word than
Ben. I mean,
they have been for the last billion years, where everything they say is false because they don't actually do anything that they're going to do.
People say that Trump is the most honest president we've ever had, which I don't have insight to that, but that
like I just like the honesty.
More
it's
than
really
Honest
nice.
Abe. His name's Honest Abe.
Well, Ben, you say that it's horrible, but like from another perspective, like what Trump's doing, you could argue, is fighting really, really hard for the one issue that he mostly got elected on. And isn't it fair for him to really fight for the thing that the people elected him for, whether or not you agree with it?
No, it's not. It's not fighting. He's shutting down the government is like refusing to have the fight.
Well,
because
not...
he knows that if the fight happens now, he'll lose.
Well, that's not true though, because like the point, what the government shut down over is that like the proposed budget that the Senate has given him or whatever does not include allocation for him making the wall. And like because he has said, well, that's not acceptable, go make one that does have funding for the wall. They have said no, we're not going to do that. So it's that stalemate that has like now the government is not funded because that money has not come through. So because we're in that position, it's like, okay, Trump could give in and say like, okay, I guess we'll just fund the government. Now those people who currently aren't at work or whatever.
Boy, and what a shame that would what a concession that would be.
Well, I mean, dude, politically
government.
that would be a massive concession because that was his main thing. That was his number one issue.
You can't just not have the government because your fucking bill isn't going through.
I don't know. The libertarians are pretty happy about it.
The libertarians can take a long walk off a short pier. Commentator's
I mean,
opinion.
I legitimately feel bad for everybody who is isn't at fucking work because of all this shit. That totally sucks. And I'm
very far removed. I'm very far removed from what's happening at the moment. I just like that he's honest and like pushes for his stupid ideas that he has. Because I just don't see that anywhere else ever.
There's something to like about it, yeah. I mean, and then people can absolutely come in and be like, no, it's irresponsible, it's not good, XYZ. But you just feel like the visceral, Jesse-esque response of like, you know what? Fuck it. And there's something satisfying.
We should resist that. It's bad, and it's bad.
I hear what you're saying.
And it's fucking bad.
I hear what you're saying.
Just, you can't... This is like, I'm no expert. Maybe I shouldn't even fucking open my big mouth, but like I've heard that like this is like a Republican thing these days of just don't govern, just filibuster until you won't get your way, so just like stun lock everything so nothing happens.
But the question is, why don't the Democrats do the same thing though? Is it because they're like better people? Is it as simple as that?
Well, yeah, I mean, all right. I watched an Innuendo Studios video about this, and he says,
cuck alert, everybody! We got some blue pills dropping.
His argument basically is that just Dems are better people and more principle. Like Dems are acting out of principle, while like Republicans are acting out of like this is what gets the job done. Which I don't know, maybe whatever.
I don't know. Maybe.
Who knows? But the point, I mean, it's still fucking shitty. I hate it.
Politics are gay. Let's talk about something else.
All right, that's
I
fair.
got something else. I got something else. last few days I've been going back to season 1 of Steven Universe, and I wanted to rewatch it.
Did
just,
Mage say,
I think said, oh no.
What's bad about Steven?
No, the first season.
It's turning you gay, Gib. It's turning
No,
you gay.
here's the thing.
Didn't you hear he voted for Trump?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, Steven Universe is old enough to vote now. Think about that.
Shit.
Feel old yet?
All right, like I had heard all the time, like after I got into Steven Universe, other people had difficulty getting into it for things like, Steven screams all the time. He's really annoying. And I was like, I haven't watched the season 1 in a while. Is that true? Is he really annoying the whole time? And I have composed a list of the Steven episodes. I've watched the first season, well, the first half of the first season, up until Lapis was introduced, and then she flies off into space. And I have the numbers, and I will post them in the chat.
Oh shit! Okay.
Wait, what numbers? What
the
stats did you crunch?
Is this going to be a new give and take compilation video? Is that what you're brooming right now?
This is the well, you'll see.
Okay, so this is every episode is described as either good or shut up, Steven. And check the link in the show notes to see which is
surprisingly, the first 7 are not shut up, Steven. They are actually good, and I like the whole thing. But episode 8, 10, and 12, he does scream like basically all of his lines. He doesn't have a single soft-spoken line in the whole episode. You can look them up, or you can whatever.
Make me do homework.
I think 12 is Giant Woman. He's like, please
That's
be a giant woman, come on.
though.
It's a really good episode, but shut up, Steven. You know?
Yeah,
like he really wants to see a giant woman, and I forgot how much.
You know,
don't we all?
I remember that like. I don't understand that he has that particular obsession in that one episode.
But the raw emotions at the end, where he's scared that whatever
Opal,
the Opal won't like him or something. Oh,
it's like, do you know who I am? And then she starts singing. All I wanna do is see me turn into a giant woman.
Oh yes, that is Kino television right there, folks.
Wait, he has a soft-spoken line because he whispers a giant woman. Theory busted.
Debunked.
No,
Libtard destroyed by facts and logic.
Yeah, facts don't care about your feelings, Hippo. This list is moot.
No. The shut up, Steven. I mean, 12 was like on the fence. I will admit. Sure. 8 and 10 are like, god damn, I get it now. I get why people are actually like they quit at episode 8. But some people, I'm sure, quit at episode 1 because he does scream a bit.
Yeah,
but like
sure.
about the cookie cat and stuff.
Right.
But like overall, it's just a
Not
really
a
good
episode.
introduction to the whole like lore and the gems and the 3 of them and the all that stuff.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
And the action and the animation in the first like 26 episodes is really good as well. It's just like, dang.
Hey, time for
This is a
me
good
to
show
be
from the beginning.
to be a pedant and gripe about how I still wish they'd animated it traditionally instead of fucking Flash.
Well,
Then
that ship has
you're an
sailed
old
now, hasn't
fart.
it?
What'd you say, Mage?
I said you're an old fart. Like every episode.
Oh, these old bones of mine.
Every
no,
episode,
they all had.
Every episode, you complain about the youth in some form.
This isn't about the youth. Wait,
This is the new youthful way of making cartoons.
that pilot episode is old enough to be president now. Feel old yet? Look, it looked really cool. It had that Rebecca Sugar style, which is way more unique than what we eventually got. They all had the scary Rebecca Sugar Voldemort noses, and also, maybe unpopular opinion. I know, I'm not allowed to say this as a cis white male, but I preferred Garnet's long straight hair to her big square afro. There, I said it.
That's a race war right there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a
it has
race
begun.
war. Yeah.
Okay, so according
That's a race war. I look to my left. That's a race war. I look to my right. That's a race war.
I do prefer the newer Pearl design in a sense. I don't know why. I just think like
New Pearl is way better. Way better.
I just didn't like her.
No.
No. Listen, I just didn't like her old outfit. It looked weird.
You mean in the pilot?
Yeah.
I don't remember what outfit she had in the pilot. It's whatever.
Gay ass shit, boy.
It was cool. It was way cool. It was way cool, and the real show is lame.
But what do you even mean anyway? Like with Flash, like all the animation is drawn with a pen of some kind. It's on a tablet, but it's with a pen. Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, have you seen the pilot?
I haven't watched it in this rewatch because I didn't like it the first time. I was like, yeah.
It looks way cooler in this man's.
But I remember Steven being like a lard blob.
He is a lard blob in that.
Look at these freaks. Yeah, look at them. It's great.
I don't like
Alright.
Will Pearl's outfit.
Just
all right.
Just for the record, episode 8, 10, and 12 are Gibbs Shut Up Steven episodes, and according to this list, episode 8 is Serious Steven, episode 10 is Steven's Lion, and episode 12 is Giant Woman. So there you go. Those are the ones that suck, according.
Yeah,
Well, they don't suck. This is like I enjoyed every episode. It was just like I could see what people were saying when he was like shouting constantly. The other ones, he does shout in like basically all of them, but it's not annoying to me until those ones.
I've said it before, but I have come back myself multiple times to just watch Steven Universe, because Steven Universe has a very unique, extremely, I don't use this word often, but it's an extremely comfy atmosphere. And I just like immersing myself in it and just watching the episodes of Steven Universe, kind of in a way that I haven't with any other show, but I imagine is why people like Hidamari Sketch. Probably for the same kind of reason. It's just comfortable, I guess.
Since we're talking about Steven Universe, do you know what's up with like the new Steven bomb, quote unquote? Because it's not really a bomb. It's now like weekly episodes, aren't they?
But it's off the air now, right? I mean, they're just.
No, there's one more tomorrow.
Episodes. I haven't watched
as
Steven
of the
in
recording
a
on the
while.
20th. The 21st is one more coming out. I think.
And it's like 44 minutes, isn't it?
Shit!
It's a big one.
I'm just asking. I think it is.
They actually made a real
special.
episode for once, not a
No
piece of shit
fucking
baby
way.
episode.
No fucking.
Well,
I'm
gonna watch that
The
shit.
last
My
bomb
memory
I
might
watched
be-
was so disappointing. I wasn't hyped for more Steven after.
Look, White Diamond is cool. The shit about
White
Pink
Diamond
Diamond's
is fucking
pretty cool,
cool.
I guess.
Connie was
Love White Diamond.
an idiot these episodes.
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, no character is at all interesting or important right now, except for White Diamond. The other two diamonds are kind of okay, and Steven. Everyone else, also Pearl a little bit, because we're gonna find out a little bit more about Pearl's backstory, probably. So that's cool.
Like I feel like Pearl was. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she was White Diamond's Pearl.
Me and Michelle have had an ongoing debate for years, I think, at this point. I still don't accept that our Pearl was originally White Diamond's Pearl. Michelle will go to her grave thinking this.
Why not?
Feel that way, I guess. I don't know.
What would be so crazy about
My
that?
feelings don't care about your facts, Steven Universe.
All right, here's the thing.
Guys, I just want to say the only thing I could like put my foot down, at least one foot on that, like the Our Pearl was not originally Pink Diamond's Pearl.
We know that for sure. Yes.
Whether she was White Diamond's Pearl is,
She probably
I
was,
definitely
but we'll see.
feel like, based on the way White Diamond acts towards Pink, like, you're just a little, whatever, little girl, just run along.
Yeah.
I could imagine that she gave Pearl to her to look, to monitor her, to make sure she doesn't get into trouble. But then Pearl was like, oh, but I love her, and then they eloped, basically.
Why hasn't Pearl talked about White Diamond yet if she was White Diamond's Pearl? She's got to have insider information. She was fucking White Diamond's Pearl. That's not even secret information. Just tell us about it, Pearl.
She could be the new replacement Pearl after the other Pearl was
Maybe she had
fired.
another secrecy curse put upon her. and
Man,
can't
Pearl,
talk
fuck
about
off.
it.
Just get over it already. Just be
Yeah.
real. Just be cool, Pearl. Why can't you just be cool like us on the Pro Crastinators
She needs to buy the
podcast?
"I'm Just Being Cool" T-shirt.
She
at
does need to buy that.
Did you see Zen Huxtable's video responding to Sarah Z's video, responding
no.
to Lily Pete's video about why Rebecca Sugar is a fascist?
I don't. Did you say a fascist?
What?
Jesus Christ!
Wait,
what
no.
did you just say?
Wait, you guys know about Lily Pete's video that says that
No.
the show is fascist, right?
No.
I'm up to date on every video
How
Lily
can you
Pete's
be
making.
that
I'm deep in
blue-pilled
there.
and say that
That was a-
Steven Universe is fascist?
That video was a big deal. It made the rounds.
Yeah, okay, I guess maybe I saw
I
it, but
really
I
don't
don't
care
know.
what
I'm
she has
surprised.
to say
It was a little
about
while
anything.
ago. Okay, so Lily Pete is an idiot and makes stupid things
Sure.
come out of her mouth hole. And this other lady, Sarah Z, responded to it, but and I'm going off of what Zen Huxtable says, but
Yeah.
responded to it wrong. and like criticized her on a bunch of things that she didn't actually say. And Zen made a video responding to that, being like, "Hey, there's all this legitimate stuff to criticize, and you fucked it up and just did it bad and made you fucked up, you dummy."
Sure. Good.
Oh fuck! No, I had a point, but I lost it. No,
I don't know.
So happens to get mired in drama.
What were we talking
We're
about?
talking about Pearl
enough.
and how she was being cool and wearing a t-shirt.
I have had enough of like critique YouTube, like the whole
but
like
I had a-
commentator YouTube
I agree.
like scene.
It's a
is
meme that
dumb.
needs to die.
It's basically YouTube comments, but in video form,
Yeah.
aka worse.
That's true.
'Cause I have to wait like a certain amount of time before I can run away.
I got it. The point is that Lily Pete said something about like, people like Cartoon Network released a video. It's like, well, here's all the hints that we dropped all along the way that that Rose was Pink Diamond, and then there's a bunch of clips that do not prove it, that are totally like taken out of context and in context don't really suggest.
And this is what
anything.
Cartoon Network put out.
Yes,
Okay.
but Zen, I think Zen put in his video, there are actual hints, like there are actual moments when you can tell early, like there's moments where like it looks like Pearl like wants to say something but can't, and it isn't remarked upon. And then later you find out there's a reason for that. So like there are some actual like early hints towards it, but like Cartoon Network's trailer was like not them. It like just showed a bunch of fake shit that like clearly was trying to make it look more more telegraphed than it actually was.
Yeah, sure.
Which annoys me a lot because I think it's dumb. I think
I vaguely
it's a lame
remember that
twist
video
that
you're
sucks.
talking about, and I was like, well, that doesn't do anything.
I didn't
the
see
Cartoon
it.
Network
I
one.
didn't see
Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's poor. It's poor form.
It was so unimpressive.
Do you guys
that
think
I
that's a
barely
lame twist?
remember it.
I think that was a lame twist. It's bad. It's dumb.
No, I mean, years and years ago, I suspected that. I mean, we all did that. Fucking Rose was Pink Diamond.
I did too, and that's why it was like.
We've talked about this before. It's the combination of one, they really obfuscated and tried to cloud the air so that we wouldn't be able to guess, even though everyone already suspected. And then the payoff was just that no, we were just trying to misdirect you. What you already believe and have theorized about at length was just true. That's just a boring twist, ultimately.
I think Gravity Falls did it better when they were just like, oh, everyone's already figured out the big twist. We're gonna reveal it early and go from there.
Yeah,
fair enough.
We did talk about the same thing on the Steven Universe episode, which was like 100 years ago. That episode is old enough to be your granddad.
Feel old yet?
That episode was out when I was listening to Pro Crastinators podcast episode 2 when you were still in short pants.
Well, we did do a second Steven.
Yeah, we did
episode,
Steven
right?
2-niverse. We got to do Steven 3-niverse at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah, we did two. Okay.
That one's
Take
old
it all
enough to
back.
be your normal dad. Feel young yet? All right.
It's a lineage.
How about we get to the voicemails? What do you say?
Let's do it.
I think it's
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good talk, everybody. Okay, so here we go. Voicemails, people, speak pipe. You know the drill. Links below. Send us your shit. Okay, here we go. First voicemail. This is from Jalen. Jalen sending in a voicemail.
Oh, God. Jalen
It's
Harris.
time. Oh, am I in the right chat? Yes, I am. Go.
We all know.
Hey, PCP, it's me, Jalen, and I just thought because I gave you a whole bunch of shekels this week that you could tell me that I'm a good guy and worth having around, even though I just found the voicemail. I know you've been waiting to hear from me for a long time. So just please play me on the show and tell me how great I am. Thanks.
Play me off. Play me off, boys.
Thanks for the money.
I got none of those shekels. I am not bound by any contracts.
That's true.
Unless you accept your Jelen name. Because he's on my server, he got a nickname. He's not happy about it. He's Jelen.
Is he gelling?
He's
is
gelling.
he totally gelling?
He's gelling.
He's gelling like is he gelling like a felon?
It's just jelly, and then at the end, the N. And Jelen.
Well, great. Glad we had this powwow.
Like a felon with a Y. Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next one. We've got another fantastic call from Clusterpunk Kitchen. Let's see what he has.
Oh, excellent.
Open a pack of Kraft Mac, free cheese flavor. Cook on the stove, cook with love. Take a handful of honey barbecue Fritos. Mix it in. That's your din. Take a bite. Change your life. You just learned how to make mac and Fritos on today's episode of Clusterpunk Kitchen.
Yeah.
Now you're cooking with cum.
Thank you, Clusterpunk Kitchen.
Thank you so
for
much.
dropping another knowledge bomb on us.
Mac and Fritos. I know
Another
what I'm having.
alternative knowledge bomb.
Someone
I know
else who
what-
should make a book and get rich. Yeah.
That's true. That's
Clusterpunk
true.
Kitchen.
I know what I'm getting Daddy to make me for Din Din tonight. Okay.
We
Next
mix
call.
it in. That's your din. Take a bite. Change
All right.
your life.
Next up, we've got a
Holy
mail
shit.
from Female Spaghetti. Let's get ready. Go.
Hey, every pony! I just wanted to ask you, former MLP faggots at the PCP podcast, be honest. How often did you used to masturbate to clop porn hentai back in the old pony days? And if you're not too much of a pussy to admit the fact that you used to jerk it off to clop, please describe your favourite piece of pony porn you remember the most. Thank you, faggots, for being my background noise while I draw autistic weeaboo hentai. I love you all. Thank you very much.
See, what I'm offended by
Yeah.
is the presumption that we stopped jerking it to cop porn after we got out of the fandom.
Damn, you right.
Dude, I regularly go back to Derpy Burrow to stock up.
Hell yeah, dude! It's your one-stop shop.
I'm gonna be straight with you, Female Spaghetti. Yep, did it in the past. Would do it again. They're anthropomorphized. I don't give a fuck. And the number one thing, my favorite clop porn of all, it was called Apple Poker. It's an Applejack story about playing poker, and then she fucks Brayburn. It's doggy style. I guess it's horse style. It's by Mitzi's. It's a game. You can play it on the internet. Google it. It's good. It's high quality. There you go.
Never.
No?
I don't
Okay.
believe you.
I mean-
you say so, kid.
I mean, I don't remember any in particular. Like, I think I probably did, but the thing is that I don't care that they're horses. Okay, I've seen clop porn that is bad, and what's bad about it is when they do it with the boobs are in
The
their
horse
crotch,
boobs.
you
Yeah,
know?
it's disgusting.
Yeah, that's horrible. when they're anthropomorphized enough that the titties are where titties should be on a human, it's fine and it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
So the ones that emphasize their hoarseness are horrible.
Agree.
Yeah, you don't want to
Agreed.
lean
Yeah.
into that. I mean,
No.
I
You
don't know.
Some people do, and I can't. No.
It's not
Please,
for
God.
me. It's not for me.
I've fapped to furry porn. I've fapped to horse porn. I've fapped
Sure,
to every
man,
kind of
whatever.
porn out there except Guru. Guru doesn't work for me. Anyway, so fuck it, man. It's about that there are human elements that I can sexualize in my brain, and so I do. That's it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
High hoof, bro.
Got it. Okay, next
Bro,
call
hoof, buddy.
from Psy's #1 fan is calling in.
Whoa.
I'm excited
Size
for
calling,
this one.
everybody.
No, it's not Psy. It's Psy's #1
That's my point.
fan.
That's my point.
Yeah,
Sai
it's
is size number one.
Okay, let's find out. Go.
Greetings, PCP. My name is
Yay.
Sai.
This isn't actually Sai,
Oh, he was right.
but I am Sai's #1 advocate. Advocate for what, you might ask? Advocate for Sai to finally get his guest role on an episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast. Think about this logically. Sai has been a huge fan of this podcast for as long as anyone can remember. Sai is a fan of all of the creators from this wonderful podcast. Now, I understand the fear that you guys may have. If I recall correctly, the original reason why Sai wouldn't be on, that you guys were afraid
What?
that the video would be disliked bombed, similar to the videos on Monkey's channel. When Sai would appear in podcasts, and the joke was he disliked the video to shit. I don't think Monkey's fans watch this podcast anymore, so I think you're in the clear in that regard. I feel you all have to do your due diligence to Sai and recognize that he is the perfect guest. Nate in the past has talked about how he feels that the guests don't really feel, part of the podcast. They don't fit in well. I think Sai fit in perfectly. So that's why I think Sai should be a guest on the next episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast.
Oh, beautifully
I'm standing
delivered.
at attention. I'm saluting.
I'm fully erect in every sense
I'm
of the
sending
word.
the nukes right now.
You make a compelling case.
Send him down to Texas. Take Psy out.
All right, next call.
Next call. That's it. All right, moving on.
Next one's from Moonju. This is directed towards Ben. Let's see.
Oh God,
Here
I'm
we
not
go.
here.
Ben, you know what? You're no saint. You're no real saint. You're a bad boy. You're a scalawag. You're a scoundrel. You're a bitch. You're a slob. You wanna know why? You're a fucking idiot. That's why. Because you think that giving to the poor from the rich would do anything. One, it's evil. Because it's stealing, just like taxation.
Oh, fuck
Jeff Bezos worked really hard for that money. I don't think he wants all that money to be taken from him. I don't think that'd be very kind. And guess what? All those people who would take the money from him, they'd just go ahead and waste it. Sure, some of them would use it wisely, but poor people are generally poor because they don't handle their money well. And guess what? If you give them $1 million, they're gonna fucking waste it. It's been shown time and time again.
As old as time.
So taking from Jeff Bezos and all the rich fat cats would do literally nothing because it would all funnel back to the 1% who would want to take it back using their smarts and their effort.
Is that it? Is that the
yeah,
end?
okay, I guess that's it.
Okay, Moonju, you're right. Jeff Bezos earned every single dollar with the sweat of his brow. He earned every single
Jeff
dollar
Bezos did one
of the half of his wealth that he now has, and so
Yes.
did his wife. So did his soon-to-be ex-wife also earn every single dollar of that
Jeff
$70
Bezos
billion.
did one push-up for every dollar in his bank account. I'm sure.
And,
that's why he's so fucking ripped now.
Jeff Bezos is just that smart. Hold on. He's worth $70 billion. I wonder how much does the average person have? Maybe
I don't know,
50,000.
I don't know.
Okay, so if the average person has $50,000, Jeff Bezos is worth how many? Like 10,000 regular humans. He is worth 10,000 regular humans.
I mean, he invented Amazon. What was everybody else doing? Just fucking around, you know?
Invented Amazon. Invented selling shit on the internet.
No, nobody else fucking did it. It was him. All right, whatever. We get it.
Okay.
Let's move along. Tabby Nickel is calling in with something to say. Let's hear it.
Sup, tabs.
I'm sick and tired of everybody who's calling out all these other discords like the Podcast or the RFCK server. I'm here to start a war with all y'all. I will fight you anywhere, anytime. I will beat your dick off on the street. Do you understand what the fuck I'm doing here? I will kick your ass and then I'll invite you to dinner. Mark my words. You can find me anywhere and I will fight you.
I think Tabby Nickel is single-handedly challenging every Discord server at once to single combat.
Not even as a Discord.
No,
as an individual.
He's
a vigilante.
He wants to fight the whole war himself. All right, you know what? Every Discord server, every server needs to stop. We need to stop fighting each other and turn ourselves to the real enemy here, which is Tabby Nickel.
Tabby Nickel will be our Sauron.
Like the Christ, like the Anointed One himself.
Yeah.
He will take on the burden of all the violence.
He will
be
end the
directed against
shit
it.
meme
He will
war.
He will save us by taking it all onto himself, absorbing all the evil. Like what's her name in Demon Souls?
Maiden Estrella, best
Maiden
boss.
Estrella,
Hell yeah.
that's the one.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
what a saint. He's the real saint here.
Yeah.
All right, next call is from Girl Pants. Go!
Hey guys, so I've been trying to get my friend Jonathan into the PCP for a while, and I've been showing him a couple episodes, and he's known about a couple of you before, specifically Nate. But
man.
I can't get him to like the show, and I don't. What he says is that pretty much that Nate is just the Tard Wrangler of the PCP, and where's the lie though?
Where's the lie though, you guys?
Where's the lie?
Where's the lie?
Where is the Tard Wrangler?
There's no debate to be had. That's simply accurate.
I mean, if you don't like that appeal, then like you're not going to like the show. It's just
No, Nate's not the Tard Wrangler. We're all his Tard handlers.
Depending on how you look at it.
Okay, sound off in the comments. Do you subscribe to the Tard Wrangler theory or the Tard Handler theory? Hashtag it.
Yeah,
Go.
please begin the debate. This is the real debate. All right, let's just move on. I guess just ease him in. Show him the best of the best. I'd say show him the PCB highlights, but I gave up on making those because it took too much time. But OneSpar makes some, I think. So check with fucking OneSpar.
Hey, if we get an editor, we can have him make some of those. Maybe.
Oh, damn, that's another great reason. Another great reason to get make that happen. A lot of good
having slaves sure is great.
Having employees sure is mutually beneficial in capitalist society, Tom. All right, moving on.
Jeff Bezos sure has a bunch, and look how he's doing.
He's doing just fine.
He knows.
Next call from Zoomer Bitch. Zoomer Bitch.
Gross.
Go.
Hello, PCP. Zoomer here.
Yeah.
Genuine one, really on the low end of the age spectrum. Speaking of spectrums, I would like to thank you all for turning me just fully gay, but that's beside the point. For you all. You always tell people to, go out, make the video, make the art, do what you want to do. So, here's the thing. I'm a dumb kid. Is there any way for me to make YouTube content, because I've been inspired by all you guys, is there any way that I could make YouTube content as a dumb little kid and get anyone to listen?
Dude,
yes.
First of all, you got that. Was that one kid? You know that one kid who makes the communist? Why we need to be communist videos?
The fat kid.
Your youth is a very powerful tool.
Look at Munchie.
People are inherently drawn to a young person doing something that is more adult. And it was
just like how I'm drawn to young children sexualizing themselves. It's just there's something about that just being adults. It's just
I shouldn't have said it like that.
Whoopsie daisy. Where's
the line?
What
I'm saying.
One point for handler. Ben, 1 point for handler right there.
Yeah. Hashtag Tard handler.
I just want to say, Zoomer Bitch, you already, frankly, I listened to a lot of voicemails because we missed last week just now. You had by far one of the most cogent, well-rehearsed, and you had a little effect at the beginning there with the whatever fucking sound, the zoom. I assume that was
I don't know if that was intentional, but it worked.
Yeah,
so
because you're a Zoomer. I assumed that was the joke. I just, you already have your shit together. If you're smart enough to call in with a decent, with a good voicemail like this,
you would be surprised. You'd be surprised how rare it is.
Yeah, no, you would be.
How ahead of the curve you already are.
You are, in fact, ahead of the curve to be able to just figure out these basic level things.
Yeah. If you made, if someone, I mean, you sound all of
quite young. Maybe
sound
15, 14.
Sounding every one of his or hers, I literally can't tell.
It's probably 12 or something.
7 years,
sure.
Whatever. If you made content, if you made the same content that one of us would make, you would get more attention because it's more remarkable that you made it. So I guess my advice would be do what every other fucking artist does and just copy someone whose content you like. Copy their style until you can start to make it your own.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Don't worry about being a kid. It is an asset, not a problem. People might make fun of you and be like, "Fuck this kid," but
as long as you do the funny jokes, then people will be like, he's funny.
Yeah.
If anyone's funny, they don't care how old they are.
You made us laugh just now, so
sometimes people can leave to become oh, you're only 10 years old or something like that, whatever your old is, and how is that even an insult? It's just it's stating the sky is blue, the grass is green. How is that an insult?
You know what that is though? That's engagement. That's engagement. Is what that is. It literally helps you and doesn't hurt you at all.
Nah, I like
people
this guy.
call you out for shit.
Zoomer Bitch, you sound like you got shit going on. I like what you're doing. You just I don't know. Yeah, pick a project, dude. Find something that you're interested in. Don't worry about it too much. Just get out there, start making stuff, and you'll see if you like it. If you like it, great, keep doing it. If you don't, then try something else. Just
start
get
making
engaged.
Stuff. Post it around. Yeah, just
you've taken a good step calling into this show. I'm already impressed.
Same thing I would tell anyone. Make stuff and then post it around. Work.
You've got such an advantage over guys who have got both feet in the grave, like Tom and Ben over here. You are way ahead.
Yeah, bro.
So keep it up. Keep it up. All right, let's get to the next one.
Death comes swiftly.
It sure does. Okay, so Steve Jess is best is letting us know how he feels. Go.
Not only did we get some deep Winnie the Pooh lore last episode, but we also got to see Ben get angry. Talking about the PCP theme, gets a little perturbed. HelloFresh, getting angrier. Then wealth and capitalism. All his chakras are flared and his Christ consciousness hits 1,000,000. If you had put a plate of carbs in front of him at that moment, they would have erupted in a blaze of hellfire. Hearing you folks argue needs to be sustenance every week, so I need to know, what's the angriest moment you can remember? It can include Ben, or not. And, yeah, also the art for the last episode, the picture for the thumbnail, pretty fire. Pretty good.
That's that Jesse quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jesse brings that
Jesse
rage,
seal
that
of
anger
approval.
that he loves, so I get it.
So is this guy talking about the angriest on the show, or just
No, he means
general?
in general. I think he just likes when people are angry. It sustains him in general, I guess. When have
Well,
I been angry? I don't know.
The angriest I've ever, this is like a shit answer, and I'm
Yeah.
embarrassed to say it, but it's the truth, so I guess I'll say the angriest I've ever been was arguing with our dad. At various times. There were a couple of times when I was incensed, like past the point. I was like sputtering with rage because I just didn't know how to express my fucking distaste in whatever shit he was telling me.
There's a thing, and I feel like this is similar.
I think he's the only person who's made me like straight up like incoherent.
You've punched through walls when you've been so mad after I think
I
arguing
was
with our dad.
he had me on fucking medication. He fucking sent me to a shrink briefly to get me on some fucking medication to keep me in line, and it like fucked with my brain at the time, and I didn't punch. I kicked a hole in the wall.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Which he then
I
fixed.
blame the drugs. So by extension, I blame Dad. So there we go. I'm innocent. Where's the lie?
I don't feel okay. I don't get super mad at work, but there's a thing that's sort of similar to that. It's that like when I'm talking to someone and they won't engage my actual point that I'm trying to say when there's a disagreement, they continue to either strawman or like just ignore it. When something like that happens, and I really feel that if they just understood my point, which happens a lot, frankly, I get so fucking angry on the inside. And you know where this happens? At work. At work is where most often these days it happens, and I don't let myself get that mad. I maintain rigid control because I can't get mad at work and freak out, or I'll get fucking fired or whatever. But like when I'm talking to my boss, and I am certain that something should be done a certain way, but they're just like, no, do it this way. And I'm like, and I try to explain why it would just save time and money and energy for all of us to just do it this way. But they won't listen. Because like I know that you are just going to get mad at me later for not delivering this as fast as I could have because I'm wasting time doing this other thing. And you know what? Sometimes I get really mad like that, and it turns out I was wrong and they were right. That happens a fairly decent amount of time. But when it doesn't happen, ooh boy, do I get pissed. I guess I just try to stay humble and think that maybe I'm wrong. They're more experienced. They know what's going on. That happens.
Yeah, man. That's when,
like our dad, when he just like thinks that he's right. I remember arguments like that.
I was gonna. I don't want to harp on the dad thing,
Yeah.
but like, like the times I've been real, it's stuff like that when like when like my point is just not coming across, and like in the moment it feels like I'm being willfully ignored or whatever.
Like,
Dad,
why do I need to take a bath? I'm just gonna get dirty again. This is flawless logic.
It's
debate me, Dad.
Facts don't care about your feelings, Dad. Yeah. But like maybe if I went back and like heard the conversation again, I would realize now like no, I was just not explaining myself. Like like I was not making sense. I was being stupid. But at the time, it feels like why don't you just understand me? It's just why won't you just agree with me? If you knew, if you could, if you could think like if you saw things the way I think, you would agree with me. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anybody else? I can't.
Anybody else?
I'm because like I'm pretty chill a lot of the time.
Yeah, but every time you play Dark Souls, you want the world to end.
Let me just say, this is all way in the past, by the way. Like I haven't been like really mad at Dad in like years and years.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty chill. But aside from video games, but I don't like get like actually terribly mad.
I just think if you had a button next to you, Gib, if there was a button next to you when you die at a poor moment in Dark Souls that just would destroy the world, I suspect you would push that button. I suspect.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, we all would at that moment.
It's like I like being angry. I think it's really fun.
It is super fun.
To let loose and be like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like really get into like an angry rant about why a game is badly designed, and I'm right about it.
Yeah.
And I also think it's funny because I'm usually very chill and I have like a kind of high-pitched voice for a guy. That like when I get mad, it's funny. It just is funny. People would probably laugh at it.
I have laughed at it many times.
It's just like I don't take it too personally because, you know, I look back on things I've got mad at and I'm like, you stupid idiot. But it's I can't think of like times I've wanted to kill. Well, I can. Here's this one time. I think I may have said this on the podcast a long time ago, but a young boy, teenager, like 13, 14, walking home from school, didn't have many friends in school, had kind of long weird hair at the time, not as long as it is now. It just sort of went up. Gravity hadn't really done anything with it yet, so it's sort of like a weird afro. And I was picked on for that a lot.
Hippo, I gotta interrupt you to say that I saw your ID card. I saw the picture of you on that card with short hair blew my
it was
fucking mind.
Insane.
I can't even imagine it.
It's right. Yeah.
Post
would never have guessed.
Post your social security number. I want it.
No.
Post those 3 magic numbers on the back of your dad's credit card.
I mean, I'm thinking of cutting my hair. The reason I haven't cut my hair for so long is because I built an internet presence and everyone knows me as the guy with long hair, and I'm like, I can't change now.
You can change.
Can't change now, but I can totally change.
You can totally change now. I cut my hair a little bit yesterday. I just trimmed short sort of one side of my head, like just kind of above the ear. Yeah. Because I didn't like how that part was sort of like belling out on the side, so I just cut that part short. You almost can't tell the difference. Like I saw a friend yesterday who didn't even notice that it had happened. He was like, "Oh, your hair looks good," and then I said like, "Oh yeah, I cut it." And he was like, "What?" I might trim off the other side similarly, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the asymmetry is good or bad. I'm probably just gonna carve it. I'm just gonna slowly carve it over the course of weeks into a masterpiece.
Anyway, so I was walking home, and I walked by some other kids who were walking the different direction. They seem about the same age or younger than me, so like, which is always the worst thing when bullies are younger than you, because
ooh.
Because
you can't fucking beat the shit out of them.
Well, it's not even that. They were younger and they were taller because I was, I'm a short person. So like it's like in every way it's like the worst thing of all time.
Was one of these tall young bullies by any chance purple?
No.
Okay.
They were male. I checked when I killed them. They walk past me, and like they do the thing where they walk past you and they insult you just as it's too late for you to turn around. Like it's too late for you to do anything about it. Like they're already
walking away,
behind you, and you're already walking still. You have to make a decision to turn around, say, "Hey, stop," and then they're not going to stop. So like they've insulted me, and I can't do anything about it. And I forget what they said. It was just some bullshit.
Some fago-bago,
like, I usually have a bad day at school, and this was like, the worst thing to happen. And I had that moment where it's like, I imagined if I could turn back time, and knowing that they were going to say that, and also have a dagger on me, what I would do to them as I passed them, because they were almost going to sort of shoulder barge me.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what if I just, kicked him and kicked that one guy down and stabbed him in the fucking throat and stabbed him in the skull, and the other guy was like horrified, and I threw the dagger in his head. Oh, that would be so cool. And I was just walking home from that point thinking, like imagining all like the grisly blood and the killing that I was doing in my head. I was like, ooh, yeah, that's good.
You know what's funny though?
And then I got home and I was like, well, I didn't do that. Good thing I didn't do that.
That's a good thing. There's no chance that they would have said that if like it was just one guy. It's only when there's a bunch
Oh,
of
yeah.
people, you know, they
Yeah.
try to
They
press
always,
you.
there's always about
courage.
it's always about like, you know, doing it to bolster their friendship status. Like, haha, I can make fun of people. I'm
Haha,
confident.
we're the in-group, and we've excluded someone. High five.
Well done, lads. Let's keep it up.
Yeah. Keep up the good work.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go on to the next call.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Okay. All right. Next one is from. Oh wait, this is from Munchie.
Wait,
All right,
wait,
we're
was that
skipping this.
was that the angry question about the angriest you've been?
Yeah.
Was that the one we
Yeah.
just okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking if I missed one. Okay.
Okay, skipping this one because that was from Munchie, who is not here. So Cam, I'm not reading your voicemail because Munchie isn't here. So there you go. Thank him.
Was that by Camry Blankenship, creator of AKA Laserbot, creator of Tails Gets Trolled?
God, I hope so. But no.
Yeah.
All right.
Hope
This
you
is from
skip his
Real
question.
Shonen Jump. The Real Shonen Jump is calling in.
Wow.
Oh.
Finally.
Hi, this is Shonen Jump, the publisher of manga, and we wanted Ben to become a comic book writer for us. Except he actually would have to make chapters regularly on a weekly or even maybe monthly schedule. Instead of yearly, we don't do yearly comics here at Shonen Jump. So we'd like to hear his reply. Thank you.
Oh, no.
I thought bullying was illegal, guys. What the hell?
Hey, Nate, fuck you. You chose to include this.
This is out of my hands. This is in God's hands
Yeah.
only. I have no authority here.
Yeah. I should probably. Well, okay. I think about this sometimes. Like when Vapors 2 was done, I was starting Champion, and I applied to Hiveworks. I applied to become like a partner of the Hiveworks Comics Collective, and I was not selected. And I wonder if maybe if that had happened, right? Like maybe what I would have done is like focus on comics over everything else and just do that. Instead of like doing YouTube stuff and Endless War and whatever.
Yeah.
And I wonder what my output would have been. I would hope it would have been better than it has been.
I wonder too. I mean, because did you do this? I mean, I think about this sometimes. Like, what if I had just quit my job several years ago, like well before my finances were stable at all, and just done YouTube? Would I be at a million subs and doing really great, and then like it wouldn't have mattered? Maybe, probably not. But it's fun to think about. Not even fun. It's just kind of wistful, I guess.
Yeah. I realized I haven't posted a new page in maybe I think a little over a week now. But there, a couple weeks ago I started posting Vapors 3 pages again, and I realized that like without even realizing it, 3 months had gone by and I hadn't made a new one, and I hadn't realized it. Yeah, I was like, what? I had thought maybe a month tops, but no, it had been 3 whole months since I made a new page. I don't know how that happened. I was shocked and disgusted. I've been busy. I've been I've been making pages lately. I've been
I've seen you post.
Been busy
them.
with stuff.
That's good.
I've been really productive lately. For a while there, I was pretty bad. But I've been a lot better lately.
I mean, I'm
But
not trying to
not specifically on that.
I'm not trying to pressure you or anything, but I'm just curious. Like, what's like the general ETA, like based on how things have been going? On
Vapors 3.
Yeah.
If I were working exclusively on it, well, I could probably. I think 2 pages a week is pretty fair to.
And how many pages you got left? If you know.
How many do I have left? Maybe 10, max 20, maximum 20.
Okay, all right.
But probably more like 10 to 15.
Well, cool.
Yeah,
I'll be looking out for it.
Yeah, like 7 weeks if I focus.
Do it up.
That's what I have to say.
Ben,
about
do you
that.
ever wonder like how do mangaka do like 20 pages a week?
Yes, I know they have assistants. Well, I guess the combination is one discipline and they have it
and
all set
2
up.
Japanese.
They have it set up like they
Racial bonuses.
go into the office in the morning and they sit down for like an 8-hour workday and they work. And sometimes I just work in my room. And I wonder if maybe that's like bad for my mindset. Like maybe if
definitely.
I had like a separate office where like I would go
it's
to
so
sit down
it's so
to work.
easy to like completely go into I'm home relax mode when you're sitting at your normal desk that you only have one.
This is why I want a drive-in studio one day that I go to every day.
When I
Yeah.
like even just changing rooms, when I need to write something, I write on my laptop in the dining room, and it's so much easier to focus. Even though I have the internet and all that stuff, it's a different computer, and I'm downstairs, and downstairs is the work time place, and upstairs is like at the end.
That's a good idea.
If I, I mean, they all there's that, and then they also have assistants, and like having assistants, I think it would have, obviously it would reduce the workload, but I think it would have a big psychological effect too. Like, Oda, they say that Oda he draws anything that's moving in the panel he draws, and he'll leave like backgrounds and like obviously he'll sketch the backgrounds or whatever, but like he'll leave like the backgrounds will be inked by like his assistants.
Yeah.
So I think basically like you, the mangaka, you draw what's important to you. Like you can draw the stuff that's like the most important and the most interesting to you, and then like all the incidental stuff you can pass on. And the effect that would have is like you could pass off basically what's to you the busy work. You can pass it off to someone else to do that.
Yeah.
So like you would have psychologically it would be less of a drag. Like the drawing process would be less. Rough.
I also think
not all mangaka have assistants. Like I'm pretty sure that the guy who did Poon Poon, know that dude. Like I don't think he has any assistants, which is fucking insane.
Yeah, because he had some detailed shit he makes.
I've talked about that show Manben on here. The one where it's like like this one manga dude, he like puts a camera in a mangaka's studio for a week, and then like him and the guy review the footage and like talk about like what they do.
Yep.
I love that fucking show. I wish every episode was translated, but a bunch of them aren't, as far as I know. It fucking makes me mad, and I want to consume all.
Learn
of it.
Japanese.
But yeah, they did what. They did one with that guy, and the guy just fucking, the level of detail in his panels is insane, and his process is fucking bizarre and insane, and he has no assistants. He does it all himself. It's fucking nuts. But like most of them have assistants.
I think
there was this one woman who puts out fucking 40 pages a week. But she's got a team of like 8 assistants that are all like milling about her office constantly.
I mean, I think another benefit of having assistants like this and just like being in Show and Jump is like just having a deadline, a hard deadline. I think is a real benefit, a serious and people depending on you, like your assistants and whatnot. Pressure is good for productivity. I swear, it's true. It's real.
Yeah.
Like when you and I were doing TBAP, I think just by virtue of us kind of depending on each other, pushed both of us to be real productive.
Yes, it was. We couldn't let each other down. We both had to do it, and also we had we have to have it out today.
Our goal was when it came out,
there's no alternative to that,
and we fucking got it out before. There were times when we were the first review out or whatever, and it was still an episode of TBAP, aka not total shit. So pretty fucking good, I'd say.
What if we made like our own Shonen Jump for that reason?
I guess
like a weekly periodical or a newsletter
a weekly something or other publication digitally.
Let's just say,
and if you have like pages for your comic, you can put them in there, and like it'd just be like a reason to have a deadline.
We're in different mediums, but let's just say theoretically, here's a concept for a show. It's like a PCP people. It doesn't have to be called that, but it's like basically a variety show where we like. Let Ben, like, whatever, he produces, like, a chapter a week, just, to be crazy, like, Shonen Jump standards or whatever, and, like, I don't know, I produce a Weagwa for it. This is totally not real, but just theoretically. I don't know, Tom, I don't know, like, a blog update for his game or something, Davu, maybe the same thing, Digi, some fucking videos or something, and, like, I don't know, what if it was theoretically all edited into one video? Wouldn't that be a hoot and a half? I don't know, just saying.
Like a roundup?
Yeah,
like a weekly roundup?
But it's like a copy of Shonen Jump in that, like, all the stuff's in there. Like, you go there for, like, all the things you want. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just saying. It's a cool, same sort of idea.
I like the idea. I like the idea of something that we are, like, committed to.
I agree.
And, like, we are all in it together.
I've always wanted to have a partnership of some sort. I've always wanted to work with somebody. I've always wanted the Bakuman style of like someone working with me, because I feel like that would definitely increase my productivity tenfold.
I mean, it's to a small degree, but like look how efficient and productive, like specifically the PCP podcast has been. We have not missed a single week, except I think after RadCon 3 we missed, I believe, 1 week when we were just taking a break or whatever. And like super productive. It's relatively lucrative for everybody. Yeah, I mean, it is just a fucking podcast. We talk about bullshit. So yeah, I don't know, the virtues. This is good. It's good stuff.
This is a good idea. I think we should think about this.
I think this is
more.
something we should do with the Pro Crastinators website, since it has nothing going on right now.
Yeah, I mean,
yes,
that's basically
like a blog post every week.
And then the name would become ironic because it's called the Pro Crastinators, but we're busting our asses to meet a deadline every week.
Yeah, I still like it. Oh well, that's a cool idea. But anyway, let's talk about that more later.
Let's put a pin in that.
Let's put a pin in that.
That's how it starts.
A call from Hipster Cthulhu. Let's see what he has for us.
This guy sounds sick.
Okay, Nate, so on the last PCP, you said that taxation is theft, and I thought I'd just blackpill you on how it really works. You see, you don't actually, own anything. See, you can only own things if you have the ability to, physically defend them and say they're yours. That's how, borders work between countries. So really, everything you own, the government already owns because they're the ones with the power. The police can come and just fucking grab you out of your house and kill you if they want, and you can't do shit about it. And so, really, your money and everything you own is not yours. You're just the government's child, basically. You're getting pocket money, and then they're taking some back from you. So taxes isn't theft because you don't own things that can be stolen, because we're all little bitches dancing to their fucking puppet strings. Stay woke.
Man, this guy's definitely watched Kymatica.
Yeah.
That's a pretty black pill.
That's a black pill.
I don't think I disagree.
No,
but I don't know what the takeaway is.
Look, okay, he's wrong. He's wrong because his whole mindset there. Look, I get it that it's true. Physical force is what, actually makes the difference. But we don't live in a world where physical force is the only thing that we care about or value. Might does not make right. So, just because the government has we set up the entire nation of America because we wanted to, have certain inalienable values, like the fucking respect of property. The government, look, if the government came in and just took people's property and whatever, you could argue blah blah blah, incarceration is slavery. I'm sympathetic to these arguments, and whatever, taxation is theft. Sure, yeah, we can make those, but ultimately, we're trying to protect virtues and values that we all respect. So it's not that. If the government came in and started taking shit completely because it fucking felt like it, I like to think we would literally rise up, gamers, and stop it.
I think it would take a while. I mean, I think on a small scale, the government can do, the government could fucking, bust into any one person's house and take their shit.
Yeah, and they could probably get away with it too by just finding some excuses. Probably true. Yeah, so, I bet they have in the past.
Yeah. So I mean, if they can
bust
do
into
that,
your bank account and take your money every fucking year.
But it's not. Look, I'm the one defending the country. I'm defending taxation right now.
I'm not sure. I agree with this guy's argument. I feel like the conclusion of this argument is not that taxation is not theft. It's just that it is, but it has already been stolen.
Basically, yes.
It is pre-stolen.
It's not theft because it's already not your property. So he's kind of just circumventing the whole issue, I guess, by saying there's an even larger injustice.
Yeah, you're going one step further than taxation is theft. It's nothing yours, even yours.
I mean,
and I think there's an argument to be made there because, you're talking, because Nate, you're talking about the government and shit and social structure and all that kind of stuff. And as long as you're playing within that paradigm, then yes, everything you're saying is true. But I think even you wouldn't disagree that there are people with enough influence to play outside of that paradigm, and at that point, there's no rules anymore. They basically are ruling everything at the point of a gun.
I mean, I just don't feel like we actually live in that world in modern day America.
I think that's naive to think that.
I mean, maybe that's true, but I don't know. I don't agree with this guy's premise that, we don't control. I think it's a little conspiratorial the way people think about, look, Jeff Bezos does not actually control the world. He really doesn't. He runs a really big business. That's what he does. And yes, that business has influence.
I don't think
he doesn't control the world.
I don't think it's about controlling the world. I think it's like someone like, if you get to a Jeff Bezos level of like influence and authority and wealth, like Jeff Bezos can do whatever he wants.
He cannot murder a man and get away with it.
Yes, he could.
Yes, he fucking could.
Okay,
yes, he could.
Under certain circumstances,
I would
yes, he
actually.
could.
It would shock me if he hasn't murdered people to get to where he is.
That's too much. He just rode a tech bubble, and he was in the right place at the right time, and it happened to be something that like the entire world population really values. That's why he just made so much money, because everyone wants a piece of it.
Question.
Okay.
Do you think that there are not people out there who would kill for Jeff Bezos's money? Like, I think there are probably people out there who would murder him. So like,
I think you're right. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
I agree.
I think I could,
but it's like, but how many people...
Maybe he's had to fucking kill people, it doesn't seem crazy.
I mean, let's just
like,
say
indirectly, obviously,
if someone came up to me and said, Nate, listen, here's a button, you push this button, I die personally as the magic messenger, so I can't spill the beans. And also, Jeff Bezos dies, you get all his money, and and it's guaranteed no one ever finds out. I'm not gonna lie, I will have to have a think about that conundrum, because no one. You say no one's gonna find out, and I get billions. Wow, that sounds pretty good. Maybe I can just find a way to justify in my soul murdering a man. Maybe I can do that. I don't know. But the point is, I don't believe this guy's ultimate black-pilled version of the world. I really think things are more granular, and like there is more individualism already. I don't think the government really does that much, honestly. I think it's just like people just have their communities, and that's where things like get resolved and figured out. I don't think the government really does that much to shape the world. I don't know, maybe in fucking like North Korea, I guess they do, but I don't live there. I live in America. I just feel like in this place I'm at, I do have some significant freedom, and I don't think a lot people are gonna fuck with it. Maybe if I was Bezos, it would be like I'm more vulnerable.
When you're Bezos level, like at your level, Nate,
nobody cares.
Like the level of a human, like a human citizen. Yeah, like the things you do are not affecting that many people. But when you're Jeff Bezos, everything you do with you don't control the world, but like your actions like have an effect. Like,
sure,
I don't know, like the businesses, like I don't know, like where he runs his fucking business out of it will have like a marked effect on like that city's economy.
The government sets up things.
Like cities will vie for him to run their business in their economy. They will offer him tax loophole, tax incentives and stuff to run your business here. That like affects the economy. It could displace people. Not even intentionally. People might have to move the house because of where this guy just decides to live.
Let's say they set up shop, it gentrifies, the entire native population can't afford to live there because it's too nice now or whatever. I mean, absolutely true.
This is these are powerful forces.
But the question that we're addressing here is not really related to any of this. It's specifically like is taxation not theft because we just don't own anything? I think we do have influence over our lives, even in that situation where Jeff Bezos can fuck us over by, fucking up our community or whatever.
It's not even the question really. Jeff Bezos is an interesting question, but this guy was calling and saying the government kind of owns everything, and Jeff Bezos isn't the government really.
I'm happy to say governments or powerful people or whoever.
Sure. But I think.
I mean, it's the same thing. The only thing that makes the government powerful is that they have capital and resources and infrastructure, I guess. But the only way they can maintain that infrastructure is through their capital.
I suppose.
I feel like the whole thing is this idea of owning as a concept, because literally owning is impossible. You can't literally do it. It's all about the laws.
It's protected by the law.
So if a law says you own something, then you own it because that is a concept that we've come up with.
Yep. Unless you physically defend it, then I suppose you do own it. If you just have a gun and won't let anyone touch your shit. Reasonable.
Well, I mean that's what the law does. What ownership laws do is empower private citizens basically to have the
like
government
will protect your
protection.
property,
Sure.
basically.
But
Yeah.
if we're but doesn't this like bolster the case though? That, like if the government has rules of law that define ownership and property rights and stuff like that, but we also know that the government does like shit whatever it wants, even if like it's questionable legality. Like doesn't that just prove the guy's point? Like the government could. Like, it's beneficial to the system to stay relatively stable, so, like, people like Nate feel like they have control over their lives. But, like...
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but the people in charge at any point can, like, quietly cart Nate off and, like, steal his fucking lunch money and
But if they
do
did,
whatever they want.
There would be, objections. Those people might go to jail.
They're not going to do it obtusely. It'll be done very silently and quietly, and they won't notice. And that's because that's
I
how
suppose.
when you have that level of power and affluence, you can do things
think
in the shadows and nobody notices.
Think about this. Think about this. Say you own some property, you own some land, right?
Sure.
And someone, maybe a homeless person, someone trespasses on your land, and thereby, because the law says you own this land, you can call the police, and the police will be dispatched, and they will, remove this person physically, violently if need be.
Yeah.
Basically, what you have by the police and the property laws, you basically have like a military force at your command, like a military force that is ready to defend your property. If you own like a huge amount of land, then basically you have like this military power to enforce that ownership. Basically, the government enforces your private ownership with violence.
Yes, correct.
So, like, I don't know. It's a little like you kind of like if you're fucking Jeff Bezos and you own a shit ton of land, you've basically sort of got like a little private military of your own. You're basically like a fucking, I don't know.
I mean, if you're Jeff Bezos, you're not going to rely on the cops. You're going to hire a private security
probably
force.
not.
So
yeah,
you
probably
literally
just have like
a private.
I this is all fine. I just don't feel like. I feel like my property is reasonably well defended by the police, and like it's a practical thing, and then it's also a moral thing. I believe property is perfectly moral and is the right.
Thoughts. Yeah. Okay, this is not a new observation I'm making here, but there are lots of people without homes in America, and there are lots of homes owned by people that are not being occupied.
Sure.
Say, I don't know. Why is it that a wealthy landowner who owns like lots and lots of houses that he's trying to flip, right? He's got all this fucking property, and like homeless people try and squat in them. Why is the government invested in coming in and using military violence to remove these people?
There's multiple reasons.
Why is it? It seems weird. Doesn't it seem weird? Doesn't it just seem weird on the face of it?
I see why it seems weird on like a base kind of initial emotional level. Like these people need houses. Why can't they? Like they're not being used. Just let them have it. But I mean, the reason is one because we've decided that property rights. I mean, we started this at the founding of the country. Are important to be respected, and that's for a number of reasons. And I think a pure pragmatic one is that, like, look, if we don't respect property rights, we're just saying anyone can do anything. You can just take anything from anybody, and the government will just let that happen. That's just chaos. And that's not good. And at the very least, again, purely pragmatically, that means, like, who's going to want to build a factory in America if America has as a policy, like Venezuela does or something, the government can just say, like, oh, good factory. We're actually going to take this because we've got homeless people who need to live here. We need a house for them. So sorry about, like, the investment that you've made here. We're just going to use your shit, for this purpose.
Is that equatable? I thought we were talking about houses that are...
it's the same. It's the same principle. It's the same. Like if you invest in a house because you're going to flip it, as Ben said in this example,
you're kind of changing.
You have made an investment. If you're flipping houses,
it.
which is what you said, Ben, that's an investment that you're trying to get a return on. If they can just take your money, why would you? Okay, I guess you just won't invest in anything.
It becomes like
who will own the house?
Like I can understand the argument from like the perspective Ben's arguing for at this scale because like it's a big house and like but it's. The argument Ben's making is the same thing as like if I have a laptop that's going on for sale on eBay right now. If someone's just like, oh, you're going to sell it anyway, just comes in, like walks into the house and just starts using my computer.
That's the same principle.
Because it's
well, I mean, yeah, but it's different. It's different at scale. If someone like owning a laptop is not the same as owning, like, 100 fucking houses.
Look, either you respect property rights or you don't. I guess is really what it comes down to. And
Well, here's the thing. Okay, I guess the difference is that I think, me personally, I think that it makes sense for a person to own a laptop. I don't think that anyone deserves to be rich enough to own 100 houses. I just don't think so.
I mean, what that just says is that, yeah, you only respect property rights so far, and that you don't think people are entitled to the sweat of their brow. Maybe because you think the system is flawed and, like, people don't really deserve what they get. It's, like, not...
That's precisely what I think.
I mean...
It's an accident. It is literally an accident that some people own, hundreds of properties and other people have not.
Yeah, some people are lucky.
It's not all an accident. Yes, exactly. Yeah, some people are lucky.
Okay, I see. Ben, what you want to do, your idea as proposed. This is a socialist idea that you want to get rid of all unfair advantages because everybody's the same, and we need to balance for things like luck because whatever doesn't exist. And I agree. I don't think free will is real. So we just want to balance everything. Everyone should have an equally good experience in life that we can provide them. But if we do things like redistribute stuff. Like, you aren't allowed to own 100 houses, we're going to take them and give them to the poor. You are crippling the incentive for people to earn anything, which is what has made the world so much better across the fucking globe and pulled billions of people out of poverty, which is what capitalism has done. We need that incentive structure there.
Prove that it's done that.
I don't know. Like, India has been vastly improved by, like, the technological advances. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but this is what I've been told.
Yeah, I think that's a bolder claim you're making than you think it is.
I'm aware it's a bold claim. It just seems to be true that, like, across the world, the poverty rates have just been plummeting over the last several years, and it's due to capitalism.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like if we had
do some
data,
research,
we need to
before
research.
I'm just going to take your word for
We're
that.
We're both ignorant of actual data, which is what you need to have a real debate like this. So I guess
I'll admit it. Yeah, I could know more about this.
As could I.
I guess I'm arguing from emotion here.
I think so, which isn't wrong, but isn't necessarily correct either. And I feel the same about me.
The problem with the argument is like you'd have to eventually define like what can a person have, right? Because there's a limit eventually. Like, I could make the argument like, Ben, like, we're both artists, but you make 4 times as much money as I do. Why don't you give me half what you make? Because, like, I work hard. Why don't I get 100?
And then you're in the business
bucks?
of policing things down to that level that, as a separate issue, is also unsustainable. I think
I think
so hard to control.
Like, your argument would be that you worked harder, you have a more dedicated audience, they feel your content's worth more.
I wouldn't say that I worked hard. I
don't know, dude.
I do.
But I mean, I'm happy to admit I don't think free will is real. I think everyone just is the machine that they were born to be, influenced by their experiences and DNA. So, like, why does anyone deserve anything better than anybody else? They didn't do anything. So, no. I just
here's the truth is that we don't even own our flesh and bones.
No.
We don't even own anything. We're not real.
If the government can just come in and take them from you, then maybe we don't.
We don't own shit, but we do own our dreams. They can't take away our dreams.
Don't get Mage started. Oh no! Oh god!
Okay, that wasn't
just in case
that wasn't a terrible discussion.
I thought you were
let's
dreaming,
move on.
Mage.
Maybe I was dreaming about a topic I could participate in.
I think we've probably.
Well, that's a fanciful dream.
Indeed.
I think we've probably hit the limit of what we can say about.
I think this whole we need more data thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
All right.
Here's.
I'm gonna suggest this right now, Nate. I think you're gonna like this bonus episode on capitalism. What could be more capitalistic than giving us our money to listen to this episode?
That's not a bad idea.
We'll come with data. We'll hash it all out.
But that will just require me to do work and find sources and stuff.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
Eesh. Oh. Okay. We'll see. That's a good idea though. Okay. Next one. We got 3 more here. Harlock Asnable. Go.
Hey, this is a young ex-Christian boy here. Just wanted to let you guys know that I had to tell my parents that I don't believe in God anymore. Not because they really needed to know, but I just didn't want to have to go to church. It was getting kind of to be a drag. And so I blamed it on you guys because I figured it was a better fall guy than
coward.
those who are responsible for people dying. But when I said that I didn't believe in Jesus anymore because of the PCP, they looked at me kind of funny, and I think they might have thought I was talking about the drug. But no, I told them it's a podcast. Now they're telling me that I can't listen to the podcast anymore lest I be kicked out of my house. So my question for you guys is it more valuable for me to listen to this podcast or have a roof over my head? I don't really know because
you got but podcast
I don't
podcast
know,
for
I'm
sure.
sorry.
You got to stick with the podcast.
I mean, as long as he's
especially if you're on the Patreon.
Yeah, I was gonna say as long as you're
Doubly.
paying on the Patreon, I don't give a fuck if you listen or not.
You might have to just bite the bullet and go to church, my dude. I know that's the worst of all possible
Christopher
worlds.
Hitchens, I think, not just an atheist but an anti-theist, which I generally agree with.
You should listen to the podcast in church.
That's true.
On
Blast it.
speaker.
Christopher Hitchens, whatever. Even he said, I think that like you don't want to like cripple your life. First of all, if you can just avoid the subject, just avoid the subject, and that's what I did for a long time.
Look,
my dad's religious.
This is
and
what
it's
you
just
got to
awkward.
do. All right, your parents right now they want you to go to church. You don't want to go to church, but they have like this religious duty thing that's in their brain that they're gonna make you do. What you got to do is you got to embarrass them at church so they don't want to bring you anymore. The next time, like they finish the gospel and the dude starts like. The priest starts going on his like little like spiel that he always does after every gospel reading. You just got to call him out and call his God fake and gay, and then the entire church will see that their son is causing an embarrassing scene, and then they'll never want you to come back again. And then you're free. You just got to shame them. You got to be such an embarrassment to them. You got to be that. They have to be. Oh no, they're the ones with the atheist son, and then they'll feel bad about it, and then they'll try and erase you from the parish's like collective memory.
They'll try to erase him by kicking him out of the fucking
just
house.
be as blatantly atheist as possible. Just make everyone know that you're the god.
You gotta
hater.
lean into it, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta lean in.
I have a huge moral opposition to lying about most things, especially important things like this. But what I would do is I would just not bring it up. Look, if it's I don't honestly know what it's like to have like super religious parents, especially like if you're atheist. I imagine it's really hard. So I guess I just say tread carefully, survive, dude.
Bad.
Don't get kicked out. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, just do. Here's
you can go to
a
church and just not
fact.
believe, dude. Tons of Christians do it every day.
Fact: everyone who's going to church is faking to a certain degree.
Probably true.
Some more than others. Even everyone's there taking it on faith, and everyone sometimes is like, maybe God, is this all bullshit? Ah, fuck. But they just fake it. They just push those thoughts out of their mind until they go away, and that's you're in this.
AKA they reject their logic and thoughts for their feelings and to placate the people around them.
You're all in the same boat. You're all just trying to make it in this dog eat dog.
Survival
world.
comes first and foremost, dude. So do what you got to do, but be a good boy.
And remember to thank the Lord for all that good wisdom
from the PCP. Yeah,
right. That's right.
Okay, next up we got them snakes.
How many more we got?
Two more. And here's them snakes. Hashtag Team Ben. I don't know. He's hashtag Team Ben now. So I mean, let's see what we've got happening.
Ben's interested.
Ben Saint, I accept your proposal to join forces to defeat Munchie.
There you go. All right.
I fucking hate babies, and Munchie is the biggest baby boy I've ever seen.
Yes.
However, I am disappointed by the clear and obvious racism you feel towards snake people kind. Everywhere I go in your territory, I am confronted with stairs. Do you have any idea how fucking difficult it is to navigate stairs as a fucking pile of snakes, you imbecile? I will not tolerate this snake-phobic bigotry in this alliance. However, if you promise to install more ramps, I may be inclined to not bite your ankles in the middle of the night, you fucking communist shit. I love you. I don't anymore. Instead of kill Munchie, he's fucking gay.
Well,
All right.
Oh, I like snakes. Why are you so mean to snakes, Ben?
Yeah, Ben.
You know, it was a crime of ignorance. I think all right, we can reach an agreement here. All right, I'm going to have all right, first thing tomorrow, everyone remind me, don't let me forget. I'm going to call my guy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get some ramps installed in St. Ben's Cathedral.
That's nice.
We're going to let him fucking lurch and slither his way on up. You know, he's going to shamble his way on up to the narthex, and we're going to have a little meeting of the minds.
That sounds great.
Hey, look at this image of the snakes from Bale Jape. I think them snakes might be related.
Oh, damn. I think you're probably right.
Oh, yeah.
Link in the
I
show
think
notes.
these might be the snakes.
Yeah, that's exactly how I imagine.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we've got our final message. And this is from Hard PP. Hard PP. Let's bring us home, Hard PP. What do you got?
Why is my pee-pee hard?
Is it because you listened to the bonus episode?
Who's that?
No, it's because he listened to the boners episode.
All right, that's it. It's over, everybody. Episode completed. We've done our obligation to you. Now continue to give us the currency. Patreon.com/the Pro Crastinators. $5 for bonus episodes. There's 21 now, I believe. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of content. And there'll be another one coming up a couple of weeks. Calm down, relax. It'll be here. At TP Crastinators on Twitter. Send us more of that cool, epic memery that we love so well. And I guess that's about... Oh, and of course, send us more voicemails to the Speak Pipe. Link down in the description. That's creative stuff. Keep doing it, people. All right. That's it.
Thank
you.
Thanks for the outro. Thanks for the outro as always. Best guy ever.
Yes.
You're a credit to the race.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Love being white. Wrapping it up here, everybody. Yeah. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. I'm supposed to be working right now. I'm supposed to